you go, Fluffy. That makes me think of what's his face, who's hilarious.
Ah,
Gabriel Iglesias,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Fluffy.
Yeah. Technical problems aside, while we're trying to get live here, I was like, well, you know who's going to be in chat? It's going to be Watusi. I mean, that's pretty much it. Sure enough, Watusi hanging out, man. We appreciate the support.
He's like a human equivalent of Fagwind.
Wow. That's, I don't know about that one. Yeah.
He's always there.
Is he gathering data on all of us?
Gathering data on us. That's
He's
what
making some type of improvement somewhere.
Yeah.
If he's gathering data
But you
on
know
us,
what?
I can see his snow, Jazza, YouTube, blah, this, that, Gramm, penis.
You guys were talking about Instagram thing because of my weird sex half-naked robot Twitter thing. I, on the radio sometime in like the last couple weeks on my way to work, heard like a survey that they gave to kids about what they wanted to be when they grow up compared to like, I don't remember the decade they used, probably the 50s or something. And, it's like, in the 50s, doctor, policeman, firefighter, a lot of like public service shit and whatever, astronaut or teacher, whatever. And the one from nowadays is all internet shit. And one of like the top two was like YouTube, like a YouTuber, and Instagram model.
Oh, okay. Why not YouTube model? And Instagram.
I guess they don't do it.
Same shit.
Instagram models, I don't know. But anyway, when Phil said Instagram and you're saying that's what it made me think.
I don't know. I never got down to my skivvies for YouTube. You say YouTube and Instagram, the same thing. So I was like, oh, wait. I didn't know that to get half naked.
If you did, think about what could happen.
Hey, look at it this way. If you want to give me millions of dollars to just wear a Speedo, I'm game. I'll do it. You can make it canary yellow, man.
Hear that, guys? Got to go to that Philamon Grundy YouTube, and apart from all of the obvious typical comments about how sexy his voice is, you got to tell him that you'd love to hear a sexy voice in the Speedo.
Yeah, how are the volume levels? I think last time it was not right, and then the time before it was not right either. But nobody mentioned anything, so it took some magic to get it all like fixed up. But yeah, if you hear like I'm too loud, or for example, I think last time I was, let me know. But the prior time I was really, really not loud. So
do comparative things too, more than just like you are loud or you are quiet. Be like, all right, well, Gramm is really quiet.
It would help.
Janzer's really loud, and they're both really close to Phil or something. Or like, Phil is louder than Gramm but quieter than Janzer or something like that comparatively, so we can work that.
That it would be helpful. Cool. Okay, all right. Loud might be Gramm. Okay, so that okay. All right, I'll keep an eye on things. Thanks, appreciate it. Video games. Well, let's. Wow, I don't even know what that all was, but B3 GamingCast episode 61. I'm going to go ahead and go with Graham's suggestion based on a bot. Cute, nice, and hard all over. More of a question than anything for the title, but I'm not going to question it because I hate technical problems. I'm in a very humorless mood right now. So let's talk about some video games before I start getting salty for no fucking reason. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we jump into the news, I played Life is Strange this week, and I guess they did reveal within like the last week or two like a little bit of something about I guess it's a prequel, whatever the second game. That will be coming out eventually. But I played that, and that was interesting. I also was really tired, so that was weird too.
Wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute. That's your news item? Seconds. Not news item. That's your week game lead. What did you feel about the game? And because I missed out on it, Gramm. I missed out on it because I happened to play like wanting to play at the same time. I didn't mean to, but it just happened. And so I was like, God damn it, I
did talk about it on the actual stream, so if anybody watched it, they've already heard it. Or if anybody wants to hear more about it, you can also check out the VOD or whatever.
So you're going to be exclusive about it. I see.
No.
Go watch my VOD.
Going into the
Xbox
game
exclusive.
all the time, going into the game, like I was waiting.
Gramm
People
box.
kept saying, you know, it really needs to watch you play that game. You should play that game, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't want to pay money for this game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of times in the last like 6 months that it was on sale for $5 in multiple formats, like on Steam, on Xbox, on PlayStation. So I kept looking at it, and there was even a time where I had it like tabbed or like left open on Steam for like 3 days when it was on sale at $5, and I just never actually did it. And then this month it was one of the free games on PS Plus, so I was like, done. So that's why I have it. And
Gotcha.
I've always looked at the game like, it's so angsty and whatever, and
You're right.
just looks blah and like
You're
cliche,
correct.
and
Yes.
it's just a fucking point and click game, and all the decisions are garbage because
Correct.
none of them really matter, even though they make it seem like they matter. And it's
Absolutely.
all about the journey, but the end game is always the fucking same, even if it's not. But it really is. Like I already like know everything about the game and whatever. So going in, I'm like, whatever. I probably won't even like the game, but I'll probably just make fun of it. And initially, it's exactly what I did.
Good.
I spent 45 minutes once like you get out of like the classroom at the beginning, like 45 minutes until I like actually went to the bathroom where you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I spent a
Very
lot of time
similar to
just
what I
like
did. Yep.
trying to like not get shoved out of the way by people doing the same rotation in the hallway, or trying to shove other people, which wouldn't let me. I would just float like across the floor whenever they walked by. Like they didn't shove me, I didn't stagger, I just floated out of their way. And I was just like yelling at the game and whatever. And one guy even came in and was like, are you really always this angry? I'm like, actually, I'm not angry at all. Like, I'm just fucking with the game, and this is purely for entertainment. But yeah,
it sounds like our playthroughs are very similar, actually.
Yeah, and it was weird because it got like a really weird like existential conversation for a little while I was doing hallway garbage. But then I actually went into the game and whatever, and I was like, I think, Jans, when you played through it, you went through with the mindset of, I am a teenage girl type thing.
Partially, yes. I explained it as, like, I'm going to try as much as I can to play the character's mindset, but when things are just so ridiculous, I'm going to, and I think that it might benefit to do something for the sake of gameplay or entertainment, I'll make an opposite decision, you know? But otherwise, I I actually enjoy getting into character. Like I liked playing D&D and stuff like that way in the back, and regardless of what I look like, I'm still a fucking nerd, you know. So I really enjoy getting into, even if it is, you know, like all right, now I better be careful with choose my wording here properly. I like the role of playing the character in video games some of the time. There you go. Whew. That could have gone badly because I was like, I like getting into young teenage girl. That was not the wording that I needed. So I was like, no, that's not correct. That
would be the last episode of the B3.
Hey, she was in college. Shut up. You get the idea. It just, sometimes it's fun getting into the role. Well, for me, and some people find that fun as well. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, and so I didn't do that. I decided that I was going to answer with all of like the whatever, not like meta, like gaming meta, but meta as in knowing everything outside of the game world, like things.
Right. Yeah.
And so I approached
play like a gamer.
I approached it as I am as a person playing a game.
Right.
So I was like, oh, well, this just won't be a thing. So I'm going to do this. Or this is dumb. Like, why would I ask this question? Because it's going to make me sound like a moron. So I'm going to say this. So I did a much more of an analytic approach. And there were a lot of things that I was like, nope, I think I only rewound once to undo one decision.
Yeah.
Which was the security guard dude and Kate or whatever, like we were shoving around. My first one was like, hell yeah, I'm going to take a picture of that. That's evidence, bro. If anything goes wrong, I'm good. Very like literal and logical type of approach, as opposed to the more feely approach. But then I undid that one because the thanks a lot or whatever like comment thing that she said to me. Yeah. As a result, I was like, oh man, that hurts me. That makes me feel real bad, man. So I went back and redid it.
Yeah.
But that was like the only one. But other than that, it was pretty much the way I usually choose, which is survivalist, selfish, and logical type of approach. So, stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Little things. I use the rewind feature too. Like, whenever I damage stuff or broke things.
Oh,
like,
I broke the shit out of that thing. I was like,
I never left anything broke. Or like when the bird like slammed in the window, and I was like, "Oh, I can undo that." Or,
I didn't recognize that, but I saw it in the like end results, and I was like, "There was a bird that died." I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, there was a couple things that I apparently missed too. Yeah, like what's her face, the girl that you save all the time or stop from getting hit or hurt. No. In your game, like she got pushed in the pool or whatever at the very end.
I don't remember her name. Yeah, Chunkerson. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the one, yeah. Like I rewound so that she wouldn't get hit in the back of the head with a football. And I in fact kept putting Max in between the football, but the football kept going through my body and hitting her anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's stupid.
I saved her
from... I guess I had to go talk to her.
So I saved her from all those incidents except for the very last one because I didn't recognize that there was a thing to do there. So I that felt bad because I consciously made sure I like took care of every other situation. But just because I couldn't tell that there was something going on there, I got punished for that. And I couldn't rewind to fix it either. I was like, oh my God, fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I rewind a lot to like do like littler things, but like whenever the game is like left or right, you make a decision. I've only rewound once, and I probably won't rewind a lot of that. I'm not the one that, especially with a game like this, where I've already broken it down through and over analyzing without even having played it. I'm not going to overthink this game. I'm not going to go and be like, oh shit. Oh my God, I have to go see the other option. Oh fuck, I don't know about that. Okay, I got to see it again, and I just go back and forth forever for like 3 hours. That won't be me. Not when I play this.
Having seen it played a few times, my whole thing was like, no, I'm going to use that rewind as little as possible because people need to learn to live with their decisions.
Yeah.
I was just being an asshole is all it was. I was, there was no reason to. I had seen it played with people rewinding it so many times, and that's neat. But I was like, and then, you know what? I ended up using that to shitload later on towards the end anyway. So, like, there's times where they just force you to do that. So, like, you don't really have a choice. Like, it's like, no, you can't let that go that way, even though you think you want to. They won't let you do that. So it's like, oh. But, yeah. So news related to that, prequel and sequel both being made. The prequel by not the original developer, I can't remember what their name is right now. And of course, it's also not going to have the original voice actors because apparently there's like that voice actors guild is still having a strike, which I didn't realize was still going on, but holy shit, yeah. And then the sequel will be handled by whoever was doing that, the original developer. And I just can't. I know the name of they're like right on the tip of my tongue. I just can't remember right now. But I'd like to say Supergiant, but I don't think that's who it is. It's somebody else. Take a look real quick. But
yeah, I don't know either. I'd have to look it up. So, Phil, have you ever played this game?
Life is Strange?
Yeah.
Nope, but I thoroughly enjoyed watching Jonzo muck about and make that guy run. There's a part early on where you actually go outside after the whole incident in the school at the very beginning, where you go outside. And then there's a part where you can walk around and you can sit down and there's a little bird up in the tree. And then I just remember Jonzo again up and walking towards the corner and a guy jogs and comes by.
Oh, that guy.
Turns around, walks back, and then turns around, walks, and then the same guy just comes in. We're like,
yeah,
say Groundhog Day. But yeah, I've seen a lot of playthroughs of it. And yeah, I find that stuff kind of cool and interesting, but that's not the kind of choose choose your adventure kind of game I play, I'd more so probably lean towards one that Jazza was looking at on the Steam sale called Wolf Among Us. Something like that would probably more so appeal to me, even more so than like the Batman one or the Lego ones that they have.
Yeah, I don't know. Batman's all right, but I'm not like, oh my god, Batman. You know, like he's pretty neat. He's cool, but
I kind of like prefer like how they have the Wolf Among Us, which is our like how Life is Strange, but that just doesn't appeal to me story wise. But I can watch people playing it.
Right.
But I would probably play something more like Wolf Among Us in terms of his original story, you know, something new and new characters, you know, like a brand new kind of IP,
right,
under that kind of universe of choose your own adventure. That's something more so, or maybe Borderlands one as well too, because I kind of like the Borderlands games. So
yeah, I tried watching that Borderlands one. I just the devs are called Don't Nod, but all I was doing was nodding. So I just was falling asleep to the Borderlands one. I don't know what it was. I just didn't care like about the story in any way, shape, or form. You know, you just kind of like what I said.
I have that one also for free, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the developers. Don't Nod. I don't know who they picked up to do the prequel.
What I do know.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying, deviating slightly. Or is your thing about the same exact stuff?
My thing is about Janzer's Life is Strange playthrough.
Oh, all right. Talk about that first, and then I'll add.
I was just going to say that there will never, ever be anything as entertaining in any of these games as Janzer's relationship and comments about Warren.
Oh, fuck
nothing in the planet.
That thirsty motherfucker.
Series, every time he came up and Janzer would talk about him or react to him or anything, was the best fucking thing ever.
Yeah, I learned it by watching you, Gramm. You kept saying "My Body, My Choice."
Maybe that's why I like it so much. Maybe I'm just really narcissistic, and I like seeing myself through you.
Like Phil mentioned before in another stream, and a buddy of mine, we've talked. This is kind of a stupid thing that we brought up a long time ago. It's like I have something, like Phil was saying. It's like I kind of have something to say that I've never really needed to admit or felt the need to, but I believe that I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body. So when a guy comes up to me, even if it's a character, I'm like, no, what do you want? No.
Get away from me.
Oh, I just wanted to. Don't wonder anything. No. There's a movie playing. Fucking have a great time. Yeah. So yeah,
good.
Warren.
It's so good.
He kept trying. Anyways, even he got like a girlfriend. Remember the nerdy girlfriend? And he was still like, hey, we'll say, hey, what about that chick? Go get it on, man. There you go, right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally into punk rock or druggies like Chloe.
Yeah, who the next one is going to be about, like you said, with the different voice actors.
The sequel?
Lately.
Yeah, I don't know. Ashley Birch.
Speaking about...
Yeah, Chloe, I believe, yeah.
Speaking about choose your own adventures, apparently Netflix is looking to do a choose your own kind of adventure, like TV show for kids, starting off with kids shows. And they're doing it with something like Puss in Boots. So you can be able to watch and then use your remote control, or if you on a Apple TV or whatever, then you can use your Apple remote or whatever the fuck they call that. iMote, I know the fuck, whatever they come up with.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting because that's like, all right, so that's because they always talk about video games, and movies are always kind of separate, but because you can't make an interactive movie.
Right.
And video game. I mean, you could, but it's not going to have the same feel. So I was like,
YouTube kind of did this.
Kind of a...
I so have a thing on that exact topic.
Yeah, they used to have stuff like that on YouTube.
Well, to be fair,
I think it's interesting.
Creators did it with like links or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Just basically links to different YouTube videos that are like are just not listed.
Okay. So go ahead.
But yeah, no, I thought it was interesting that Netflix was looking to pull that kind of element, which is in video games or books, because it's all based on the whole choose your adventure books.
Yeah, it's probably a good option.
Into actual TV series.
Yeah, I would say going after like young kids, you know, is a good option for them because they can't control themselves. It's like, I want to play the game, you know, whatever, and Netflix. So they'll probably get a decent amount of like you know, usage out of it, which will then they could say, see, it works, see, but it's really skewed because they went after a demographic that can't control themselves in the first place, you know. So just yeah.
But I mean, that's interesting too because Netflix bases a lot of stuff on the amount of views that, you know, a show gets, you know, how much viewership or whatever.
Exactly.
So something like that is going to get like constant viewership, repeated viewership, you know.
That's what I'm saying. They skewing the numbers in their favor, you know.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that? Yeah. All right. Interesting.
Yeah. Last Saturday. So after the podcast, I hung out with one of my best friends, and he was telling me about this movie game thing called Late Shift. Apparently it came out in April or something. And I played that, and it's like full-blown movie quality, like a movie, but make choices very similar to like Telltale things, whatever, and then the actor basically pursues your decision. And it's got like 7 endings. But it legit is a movie that you choose.
Oh, I've played something like that, but it wasn't very good.
Well, it's
quality-wise.
pretty quality. What I
cool.
played. It's like a legit movie. So like it's interesting that came up because I completely forgot about that. But so like it was really interesting because my best friend had a completely different experience. Like my guy went a little bit off the rails and was like breaking shit and threatening people and beating the shit out of people, and his was like not. But he ended up walking away, making some money or something. It's like a crime thriller heist thing. That's the story arc. And he walked away, and my dude got framed for murder.
Did they run into a chick that loved chocolate?
I don't remember.
Sorry, that was part of like
really interesting.
M's playthrough of some
and it's
game
like $13. Yeah, like the game is like $13. But it's basically like a movie that's a little bit different every time you watch it, because like the gameplay itself is literally like you have so much time to and like choose a response from like 2 or 3 choices, and that's pretty much it. And then it plays the next scene. So like I pushed the button like to make a decision like 45 times in like an hour and 20 minutes, and that was pretty much it. But it was really interesting. But Late Shift.
Yeah. This is This is if you love chocolate. This is from some game, press X to continue or some shit. Press X to not die, that emphasized was streaming one day. And there's just some girl that they, like a lab person, like in a lab. And one of the questions was like, do you like chocolate? But they recorded like multiple takes and put it in there. So if you keep asking her, do you like chocolate? She keeps like doing different things or saying different things. I sent that to a buddy of mine who works in a lab. And he's like, there's one part where it gets pretty like fucking weird as fuck. And he's like, yeah, that's not sanitary. And also she shouldn't be having whatever. It was just like lab rules, you know. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
anyway, there's another game like that too. The one that I saw with a guy that is in a bunker is that he's the only living person, and you have to figure out what happened that everybody else is dead and everything that unraveled. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the same thing. But it was an actual person. It was shot, you know, like a movie.
Yeah,
and it was just all with this one guy. Well, then they had like, you know, like as you discover certain things, then you remember things from like when you were a kid growing up in the same bunker. And so they had a few. I think it's called The Bunker actually.
Oh, there you go.
You can look it up on Steam. It's actually for $5
called Fallout, the game series.
It actually had a lot of similar kind of themes to like how Fallout works, but not obviously not like the whole Pit Boy and that kind of thing era. But you know, they just had like those old monitors that you would look at with kind of a DOS screen.
Yeah, things
like that. But it was the guy that acted, the main guy that acted in it, acted really well, very emotional. So I mean, just like how Gramm says, this other game here has Late Shift has like, it seems like a full-fledged, done movie or a TV series, good quality. That had a similar feel to it as well. And I thought that was quite interesting to see games like that.
Yeah, I see a few of these things, even as little as they are. It's like I'm hearing about them versus not hearing about stuff like that at all. So, and with the rise of VR, I could imagine that, like that one, I think that Emphasize played, that was a VR game that was intended to be a VR game, but you could play it like, on PC or console or whatever. So, yeah, interesting. Okay. Put Late Shift in here as well. With Gramm, when you were talking about Life is Strange, I typed out, Gramm plays Life is Stream. Man.
Life is a stream.
Life is
streaming.
Merrily.
Yeah. So speaking of silly things, I, being the kind of nerd, I guess, that I am, I looked at that thing that Phil shared, which with us earlier, the super fancy Assassin's Creed edition.
Oh yeah,
and so it's no, never.
Oh.
But it's $800 and it's got like all this crazy random shit. And as I was reading down, it was like this next tier, $160, and it had a whole bunch of shit too. So I went through, and everything that was exactly the same, I deleted off of 2 columns, and so it left only the differences, and there's really not that much of a difference. So the $800 one has 4 large lithographs that are signed by the artists. Pretty cool. And it has 2 exclusive steelbooks. The $160 edition only has 1 steelbook.
Steelbook.
Yep, it's Steelbook TM. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
it's a
all that is just a steel cover. It's not like you have a hardback and a soft cover. All that is just a steel cover. I mean, the interesting thing though is that printing onto like metals and stuff. If they're doing it the way that I think that they're doing it,
lithography.
It makes it look. Yeah, when you print, and you could do prints onto metal. They actually. The metal coming through from behind actually gives it a totally different feeling in a photo. Like imagine having a night photography shot and it has that metallic metal feel shining through from the back. So I can understand them saying I don't personally want it.
But it costs how much? 800?
800 for the fanciest one, and the next one down is 160. So we're talking $640 difference.
Wow.
And yeah, they both have steel books, but the fancier one has 2 books instead of 1.
I wonder who
they both have a statue, and they both.
Version.
I don't know. They only have 999 of them.
Yeah, only.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and they both have the same statue, but the super expensive one, it's like almost 30 inches as opposed to 15. So it's like twice the size. They both have an eagle skull replica, whatever, amulet, except that it notes that the expensive one is in resin and doesn't say shit about the cheaper one. So they both have those. They both have steelbooks, but the other one has more. They both have amulets, but one is noted in resin. They both have statues, but one's twice the size. So the only things that are listed in the super expensive one, the $800 one, that is not listed at all in the 160, is a collector's certificate of authenticity, numbered 1 through 999, and those 4 lithographs, large lithographs signed by the studio artists. That's it. So there's no reason to ever get the $800 one. Unless you're like, I really need those lithographs and I need that certificate.
I really need to find out who is this person or people that buy the $800 version.
And the article that Phil had said that they it gave the impression that they thought the people that did this think that all 999 will sell. And I kind of feel like that's ridiculous, but it could happen because the internet is full of crazy people who have a lot of money.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna play, I guess, devil's advocate, and as opposed to like how that article, and that's how I've seen other people like freaking out. Oh, this is crazy! $800 for this stuff? Who the heck's gonna buy this?
Yeah.
I've seen streamers playing and had people come on to their stream and donate hundreds of dollars.
That's true. We
Just
had one of
because
our
they were
own
playing
B3
a
people
game that
say
they
that
love.
they gave $200 to a streamer. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you said $200. I've seen people. I've seen a guy give $500 and then came back later on and give more money. So to the point where the next day the streamer had to come on and say, okay, because there are people that would used to donate money and then withdraw it. To kind of just troll streamers. Yeah. But then I saw the same streamer came on the next day and said he actually sat down, had a conversation with this person, talked to them, voice, and then the person explained how they had actually come into a lot of money and blah blah, and they love playing games. And I think there is a market for it. So as much as I want to say, who the fuck would pay $800 for this stuff? That's coming from a perspective of somebody who doesn't have money. And there are a bunch of people out there who have money, and they'll buy it.
And while I do crazy. Appreciate that, it's $640 for a statue that's twice as big as the other statue, a fucking certificate of authenticity, and 4 signed lithographs. $640 difference. Almost everything else the same. Like, I could never do that ever in a million years.
Well, one's authentic and the other one is bullshit. That's why.
Yeah,
exactly. And I will take that bullshit for $640 less.
Right.
Again, going back into perspective, I recall when I used to do
prostitutes.
I used to do like a little television program that used to show here in the Caribbean. And we used to go to like different music festivals and interview, different artists. So we went to St. Lucia and we interviewed one of their well-known jazz. He used to play the guitar. He was a jazz player. And he said, oh, yeah, he was, very fortunate at some point. He actually got to tour with like B.B. King.
Yeah.
And, the legends of jazz. And he said that, when he played with them guys, sometimes they would say, hey, let's go for a drink afterwards. Oh, yeah. They're not going to no cheap bar.
Nope.
They're going to a high-class place. And he said that these guys would be just drinking bottles of champagne and this and that. And he'd be like, all right, it's cool, no problem. And he's thinking this stuff costs, like 20, 40 bottles. No, you said it was like $300 US a bottle. And it's like, you can buy champagne, good quality champagne for way less than that. But again, it's just like, they're different. When you have money, you have a different bubble that you're in, as opposed to when you don't have money or when you're like probably above middle class. So I don't see the value in that. But I know that there are people that will say, look, that's cool. And $800 ain't nothing to me, so I could just grab it.
Yeah, they need to get on that Santana DVX. That's right, motherfucker.
Yep.
Oh my God, I just put that in the chat.
Oh, hey, that's, yeah.
It's the same way that like Wu-Tang had recorded that album that nobody was supposed to hear except for the person that bought it. Right. And that rich dude that's, that's supposed to be that asshole with that whole pharmaceutical thing. He bought it. For was it like $2 million or something? One album. That's it. One cut on album. $2 million is like, nah. I mean, I don't think it's worth that. It might be good. It might not be good. No way.
At $2 million, it's good regardless of the quality.
Yeah,
you just say it's good because no one ever says it's shit if you spend a decent amount on it. Like, is this any good? Yeah. It's amazing. It's the best ever. Yeah. Oh shit.
So yeah, when I saw it, I thought, I'm gonna play both sides of the fence. Like, this is stupid, but you know what? It's not stupid because there's some people with just tons of money that actually game.
And normally I would like to play that devil's advocate, but when I did that column bet side by side because I was curious, it makes so much less sense to me now, even more.
Yeah,
so.
But again, Gramm, bottles of champagne, it's just liquid. You're gonna pee it out eventually.
Yeah, well, that's yeah.
I mean, collecting. The whole purpose of collecting is collecting because
I've been in.
It's limited.
Neither one is a smart choice, is what I've
been in stores. Listen, where I live, we have some of the cleanest water that you can get in the world because our water filters through like limestone or whatever. So the only thing you gotta do is clean out the lime out of the water, so you don't get like gallstones or you don't have to pass those out.
This is how.
But people here pay for water, pay for bottled water, and not only just regular bottled water, but then there's bottled water that costs 10 times the amount of regular bottled water that they will go and buy as well, just because it has some particular label.
It's so cool.
And I'm like,
it's Fiji.
You know what? I think it's absolutely stupid, but you know what? There are people that gonna do it because they got the money. Why not?
All I know is that $160 version sounds like an overpriced blowjob, and the $800 one sounds like a blowjob where she holds her pinky up in the air. And there's no way I'm paying $640 extra for her to hold her pinky up in the air.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it's crazy. Ah, all right.
The statue does look kind of cool, though, I will say.
Yep, and if you
Not
really
night-
want it, you should get the one that's only 15 inches instead of 30 for $640 less, plus a bunch of other shit.
But that's logic, and that doesn't belong in gaming decisions.
I'd
Oh,
never
what to
collect
see.
figurines anyway.
I was just looking at that.
Yeah. It's chat stuff. Okay, Assassin's Creed. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
else?
I will say too, that bundle looks better than the game looked to me. Game looked like the same boring Assassin's Creed stuff. But I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they might add some cool stuff to
I
it.
read a little bit about it, and apparently they've changed mechanics and they made things easier, but they also made things more one-on-one with your opponents, so it's more of a
Well,
commitment to a fight versus just like randomly flipping around. That's what I
Yeah,
read. You
but-
know?
the other thing too, though, is it's not only, well, you say one-on-one, but the
Yeah, I'm
interesting
just
thing
repeating
that they
stuff. You don't need to.
did- yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that they did too is that they always said that people always complain and said that their games are like, like bad
Batman?
kung fu movies
Oh.
where one person, a guy runs in the room, there's like 50 guys he got to fight. And
Yeah.
each guy will attack individually.
Right.
They said no, people will attack you. You get a fight with some person, and somebody else will come behind you and try to hit you. I mean, which is in a lot of other games. Batman does it and other stuff. But yeah, apparently Assassin's Creed never really did a good job of that.
Yeah, they all kind of just let you like, all right, let's fight this guy one at a time, though, respectfully. Okay. He's a dirty murderer, cutthroat, thief, pirate. But with
Assassin.
respect, we're going to assassinate him. Yeah, well, yeah, and assassin, right?
Everyone form a line.
Yeah, exactly. Form a queue. You can stand wherever you please, but do not engage until your number has been called. It's true. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that until your number.
Yeah.
Speaking of like new games too, that was on E3.
Yeah,
E3. They showed a little tech demo for Beyond Good and Evil 2, actually
Okay.
showing what the gameplay was. I put a link for you guys before the same Assassin's Creed. I don't know if y'all got a chance to watch that.
I did not
I
look
did
at
not.
Oh man, pull it up now and just like
Well, I'll put the link with the notes.
Give me-
That way we'll
Yeah.
have it. And anybody that goes to the, if you go to the web, either b3gamingcast.com or Podbean, wherever we host this with both places, they'll have links in the notes as well. So
yeah, you can probably put it in the chat there as well too. if anybody
I
else
also,
wants
Sure,
unlike a majority of probably people who will give a shit about this game, never played or really know anything about even the first game. I don't even think I've watched it. So
yeah,
if there's anything that you noticed or I don't know, can say that's maybe different from the first one, that might be interesting to me.
yeah. No,
Well,
I
I've
looked at
never
it
played
like
the
as
first
a
one.
really
I own it,
cool 3D
but-
animation, but yeah. So, but I'm not like that opposed to playing it or anything. So what else do you? I'm sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
Yeah, I never played the first one, so I was just looking at basically what I saw at E3 was a trailer
Yeah.
video,
For a
So
movie.
it was like cinematics. Yeah, it was cinematics. So it looked cool, but it's like, where's the fucking game?
Yeah.
That's what I always thought with that. But then they put up a little, first in engine demo or tech demo,
Right.
showing off the ship, how it handles, the same monkey character getting out and using a jetpack,
Right.
landing on the statue, pulling out from the statue, showing the rest of the world and how the game renders all this. It looks really, really freaking. I don't know how this is gonna. Obviously, they're gonna make it work on a console, but it's like it looks like so much is going on in this game that they have to have this game very well optimized because the stuff looks top notch visually. It looks really.
I would
good.
say expect like at least a 30% drop off then, because if they were not showing it on the console that it's going to be played on, then that's bullshit. Because that's happened way too many times for us to think, well, you never know. No, we do know. And you know why? How we know? history.
Yep.
So
And
yeah,
it's-
definitely going to be a decline.
It's a tech demo, so obviously,
Yeah.
you're gonna have your developers build. So you're not gonna be
Right.
playing like how the actual. So
Yeah,
he was
slice of
using the
life or
controller
whatever.
to move the character around and do stuff. But then he also had a keyboard in front where he could just key in, certain codes or info that he wanted to do, so that he could say, all right, look, pull the ship out, pull the scene out. But it showed how vast the world. Basically, he showed where you were and landed on a statue, then pulled out and showed the whole city that you were in. Then he pulled out some more into space. And then he pulled out even more to show that there's another planet somewhere else. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of curious as to how far, this game expands.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of like where you could, venture to and stuff like that. So it looked impressive. It looked like a lot of hard work went into it.
Yeah.
And he, from the same E3 presentation, he seemed very passionate. So I'm hoping that they can really pull this together and put a pretty good game. Because if they can, it's gonna be one of those games that people can remember.
Yeah. And to be fair, what you said there about like he seemed really passionate. There was a lot of quality work that looks like you could see, and they have blah blah blah. Honestly, those are all the basics for where every video game should be. Like all of them should be that way. All of them, Otherwise, don't fucking make it, because it's just not going to be worth anything, I'm being mean. I'm being super mean when I think about it. Because you want to bring something quality. You want to up the game. You want to bring value to the industry that you're working in, So it's, what's the point of bringing something that you don't give a shit about? To get paid? Okay, we'll go into mobile gaming. Sorry. But even there, that's what gives people, that's what turns people off from buying product that you produce, So can you turn a quick buck? Sure. But what does that end up doing? It ends up like turning people off to wanting to actually pay for anything, right? Then they start pirating it. So produce quality,
Yep. I agree.
Well, at least that's, ideally, right?
Yeah. Whenever you get a chance to look at it, I thought that visually you could see a lot of.
I like the prettiness of like the background.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just impressed by the level of detail that went into every single aspect that they showcased, and I just want to see if that translates to everything else that goes on in the game. Like controls. When you actually go to different places, if it's gonna have that level of detail and look. If so, then this is gonna be a huge step in the right direction for video games.
Yeah, I wish they would just make an animated movie so I could just watch that and I'll be happy. I don't even.
You know what's gonna happen? People are gonna just put the animated bits up on YouTube and you can go watch it there, unless you Ubisoft or Poop Emoji logo company decides to pull it down off of YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome. Let's move along. Like we're already 45 minutes in. I kind of want to make sure we get a decently, because we feel like we're just wandering around here. What else we got? Any other things you all have on your docket or anything you did this week gaming wise?
Well, I played Black Desert more and more Black Desert.
Yeah,
that game is a complete time sink. I mean, I was supposed to talk about it from before, but yeah,
right.
Even if like Volts I was gonna try to get Volts to come in and talk about it too, but he hasn't played it much this week. But the game is a complete time sink. It's blast, it's fun. The amount of
but it's a time sink that you're willing to do.
Yeah, it's because it's not like, all right, it's gonna be different for me because I don't like MMOs, which is kind of odd saying that because this game is an MMO. But this is not a usual MMO. The combat's different. The combat is more interactive. You're actually doing like combos as a person, just 1, 2, 3, 4, assigning buttons. You can do that, but they actually penalize you for doing that. Like your combos take up more stamina or mana or whatever that you need to use, and they hit for less if you use the 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. So it's more interactive in the combat.
So how do
gotta
you
flip in
execute
and out of
combos then? Because everything is just a sequence of buttons.
Yeah, like you got the usual WASD to walk around how you have like in a third person view game,
Yeah.
and then you would press like left or right on your mouse button or both buttons to do a different thing. Then you could also press F and W, E or Q, or Shift and E and Shift and Q. Like there's so many different key combos that you can just put in.
So
And
it's
you
not
kind of
just like an attack or an ability, but it's a movement plus an attack or ability.
yeah. And how I'm describing each and every different kind of thing that you can do, like different button presses to do that, then you can chain those different attacks.
Yeah.
So you can choose how you want your attacks to combos to come out. So it's a lot more interactive in terms of the combat. Visually, the game looks really good.
Yeah.
As you can obviously from how they have from the character creator.
Yeah, I know it's on sale right now for $8 on Steam. Summer sale.
It's a Korean MMO. So expect, there's the whole aspect of having to put money into it.
Grind. Yeah, they grind like nobody's business, so get ready for it.
Yep. So expect a shit ton of grinding, and there's like some things that like you can get like the same, like they would recommend. People always say like, hey, if you can get one thing in the game, get a pet. You probably gonna end up needing more than one pet, to be honest.
What about a maid outfit? That's what I remember Count having.
Great, because Count got that maid. What they do as well too is that a lot of stuff in the cash shop is or as they call it, the pearl shop, is like a lot of costumes. Shop. And costumes actually, some costumes actually give you, like I got a bunny rabbit outfit for one of my characters, which underwear, which actually add luck to the drops that can happen around that character.
The pearl necklace outfit shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But then they got a whole bunch of different outfits. So, but what they do is that they it's like they're like drug dealers basically. They say, hey, guess what? You can have this outfit for 7 days. Try it out, see what you think.
Oh man.
And they would give you another one as well too. So that they kind of give you that incentive constantly, like, you should really buy something. These things are really cool. And you run around this outfit that's really good, and then 7 days disappear, and then you go back to your
armor. Really works well for my character. I mean, yeah, that's what it is. I sure would like to keep it.
I mean, if you like that little boob jiggle physics too, they have that on some of the female characters as well. Yeah. So it's not as prominent as in some other games, but you notice it. It's some of them are very bouncy, and you can make breasts bigger or smaller or whatever. But if you don't mind the fact that you might have to play the game for probably a month or something before you could accumulate enough cash to get something. Yeah.
That's a long time.
But that's when I say that's like getting like a really high tier weapon that you probably shouldn't be just looking to get right off the bat. So if you want grain and get stuff, it's probably going to take that. Well, I'm saying a month because I'm saying it from the perspective of what I've earned so far, playing it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's also including me stumbling and trying to figure out what's the best ways to make money and then doing certain things and having to backpedal.
Are you playing it through Steam?
Yeah.
I'm going to go look at your hours. I'm curious how many hours that you play.
Oh, well, you see, that's going to be a false representation because that's something I got into there now too. Okay. There's something I don't really like about the game, but I can see why they do it. What happens is that there are a lot of AFK activities that you can do. So you can set your character to fish and just leave them. So every 3 minutes or so they can catch a fish. It's all, and it will be all RNG based. Or you could try to do the fishing yourself and it will go faster. So you can actually, but what I was kind of thinking or hoping that they would have done is more along the lines of, hey, you set your character to fish, sign up the game, you come back later on, you can see what you got. No, you have to leave your character in the game. If you have workers in the game doing stuff for you, if you're not signed in and playing the game, the workers aren't doing anything. So it's like nothing happens unless you're actually logged into the game, which I don't like at all. And then it also creates an issue with, they got a lot of new people playing it like me. They got veterans playing it, and then they have weekends. Like every weekend, you get 100% more XP. So what happens is that you got a bunch of servers that are just completely overrun, because you can look at the server list and see, and every time it comes up close to the weekend, completely overrun. Or when there's an event like one that's going on now, servers completely overrun because people are just leaving their characters in the game, or people in the game doing stuff. So I just thought that was kind of a silly thing. It's like, that's really bombarding and putting a lot of pressure on your servers. But I don't know, maybe it's cheaper, way cheaper in Korea to have tons of servers set up or whatever. Or other parts, obviously they have to set them up in like the US as well too, because people in the US not going to be connecting to Korean servers to play a game again. A bunch of
oh man, you don't know MMO players. Then they totally did that for like FF 14 because they were having a hard time getting into Stormblood, so people were switching over to the Japanese servers because they heard that they could get in over there. They paid I think like an $18 fee and flooded the shit out of the Japanese servers just so they could get into that new Stormblood content.
Well,
yeah,
interesting that you mentioned that too, because
crazy
Black Desert. The first time I heard about Black Desert, was when they said, well, there's going to be a US release, but it's not going to be this year. It's probably going to be next year or the year after.
I remember that too.
And people were streaming it on Twitch from the US. They actually created VPN accounts and got people that were in Korea or contacted people and got them to set up a account with the game for them. I mean, I practically doing a similar thing too, because for some reason the game isn't allowed in my region. So on Steam, I can't see the game.
Yep, they did it for Blade and Soul as well. I remember I almost did that for Blade and Soul myself.
But what was even crazier though, like you said, like they connect into like Japanese servers, or in this case Korean servers. Everything's in Korean, so they had to sit down and try to figure out stuff. Yeah, but when the game says, "Oh yeah, go do this and go do that," they're like, "What did it say? I don't know. Let's try to figure it out." Yep. When I saw people doing that, I was like, just wait. It's going to come out eventually. No. Gamers don't know how to wait. So eager. Yeah. Me personally, I just wait. Even when I had to wait and the game came out and I couldn't play it. So I was like, oh, well, maybe it'll come out in my region eventually. But then eventually it came onto Steam. I got count to, try some gifting it to me and see if it will work. And boom. But yeah, I'm actually enjoying it. When you first play it, feels like, oh man, it's great, it's fun, and you don't have to do dungeons and you could do a lot of stuff solo. And then it becomes overwhelming when you see the items that are being sold on the market, how much money you're making, which is, you can feel like pittance as a parent.
So never go to the market. Got it.
Yeah.
And no, it sounds only more like, oh, but I want that and I can't have it.
Yeah. If you do the math, you can figure out, oh shit, that would take me like a month to sit down and get. But the next thing though is that the game has so many different things to do, or different ways to get like money, or different things that you just want to. There's so many different things that you can find to do. Each person can find something that they enjoy, or even switch to something else eventually. So you can spend a ton of time in the game and then just gradually get something that you want. So it's not like, I can say in comparison, like how Warframe is now, where you just repeating the same missions and quests.
Yeah, and just it's pretty horrible.
It's boring. There is going to be aspects of that. Yeah, there are aspects of that in that desert, but there's so much variety going on that you can go somewhere completely new. The parts I haven't explored majority of the map of that game, and I played it for like 2 weeks straight already.
Right.
I have only gotten a small fraction of what is there again. This is like a whole desert area. You could go far out and go sailing other places.
Yeah.
So
they showed some interesting things, like in that the Xbox conference or whatever, when they're going to take it to console. And there were some things I'm like, whoa, I didn't know they had those big creatures. I was like, wow, that looks neat. It's like, when do you get to that stuff?
Yeah, I don't know how long it takes to get that stuff. I mean, I'm sure if you're really pushing and grinding, you can get to that stuff way faster. But I taking it easy. I kind of enjoying the journey. So I think it's a game that I'll just be playing for a long time. And
interesting.
I think that's cool. It will. There are some frustrating and annoying things, and a lot of stuff seems like it's geared towards making you spend money in the cash shop. And I've met people that have spent tons of money in the game, but again, that's a matter of self-control.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, I remember I spent a decent amount in Warframe. How much
you want to indulge? Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, part of it was like the amount of time played versus the amount of money spent versus was I spending anything on any other games? or any other entertainment, that kind of thing. So to me, I could justify it, and maybe that's the game that they play. Maybe that's it, and that's how MMOs can be. They become like you spend so much time vested that you don't really feel like for example, Granite Jim plays Destiny. That people will tell him, "Oh, why don't you play something else?" But he likes the game. Why does he? I would hear that too when people would like play Warframe. It was like when I was playing Warframe, I was like, "Well, this is what I want to play." There's nothing really wrong with just playing that one thing. But at the same time, what ends up happening is then you start looking at like, well, I don't want to play any other game either. You kind of like Jim has this thing out for the Division, because people left Destiny when the Division came out to go play the Division. So he starts calling it the Diversion because he's like, "Oh, you'll be back." It's like, don't get bitter just because people are playing something else. Maybe they will be back. But here's the thing. It's just a video game regardless. There's no my game's better than your. Who gives a fucking shit, Destiny's had its multiple issues and pricing model problems and content release problems and bad content initially released, until they finally released it later on. But then you had to rebuy, I don't know, the bad price.
It's almost the fucking poster child for all those issues.
Yeah. So the hope is that Destiny 2 is going to have learned from everything badly that they did in Destiny 1. But I don't always see that that's the case in some development. You hope for it, and sometimes they fix things, but so my thing was like, why do you always give shit to the Division? Like they're having a hard enough, like fans of that game, which I'm a big fan of the Division. Like I feel like, man, the only reason I stopped playing it is because they stopped developing for it, really, and they're actually still developing somewhat for it. But don't rub salt into the wound that I have that isn't causing you a problem, Like, I'm not going over and trashing Destiny. Like, if I say bad things about it, it's just because it's a fact. Like, a fact that they don't have dedicated, that kind of stuff, or whatever it is, until you find out whatever they have like these weird hybrid server type things. But, it is what it is.
There's nothing wrong with being enthralled with a game, but you still should know that the game has its limitations and flaws.
Yeah, and if you don't see those, or if you see those but you still play, don't get bitter because other people are going to go play other things. There's plenty of times where I play, like, let's say 7 Days to Die. I love the game, but I can't really get people from B3. Like, Volt's played it a little bit with me, but even he get tired of it, So, but what do? Should I get angry at people just because they don't want to play what I want to play? Or Volt's wanted me to play Dark Souls with him for the longest time because he just wanted someone to play. Not even specific, he just was like, I've been waiting for co-op for the longest time, You don't get bitter at other people because they can't play with you. They don't want to play with you or play that game. It's just the nature of what it is, That's why we build gaming communities, so we can hopefully find people that might want to play with what we, the games that we want to play, or at least have interest. Like R6 Siege, right now I'm going through a period where I want to play it again. Or Paragon. I was playing Paragon on my own, like for a bit there, and then people were playing it again, and that's great. It's just the nature of video games and what people want to do, Just find it weird that people need to go trash other games just because no one's playing the game they're playing at the moment. It's like, calm down. I trash the games that I play.
And that's what I think about, like, being able to play the same like Black Desert, like by myself, as opposed to I got form groups for dungeons or do this for raids. They don't have none of that stuff. I could just play the game at my own pace, and I could achieve a lot of things over time. It probably take me longer because I will probably play a lot more casual than people that are already, hard MMO grinders. Yeah. But at the same time, now I can say, I can play this game and I can pace myself. I can enjoy it. I'm gonna play multiple different characters just to try them out, which is gonna make my progression slower. But at the same time, I'm still gonna go play Paragon when y'all playing. Oh, y'all playing Paragon? Cool.
Right. Yeah.
There might be one or two times where I'm like, I try to do something here in the game. I will stick with Black Desert, but I go play Paragon. I would jump back in and play. I played multiple games at the same time. I've been playing, the same Black Desert. But yeah, I think you got like that core game that always kind of sticks with you. Like how you had
sometimes
you and I both had Warframe.
Yeah,
and that lasts for a period of time, but then gradually you move on.
To be fair, that was the longest period of time that I played one single game in my current history. No other game. Yeah, no other game has been that.
Well,
Like
yeah, the
everything
game
that
I
I've
played that
Mhm.
much, but it was off and on, very off, and sometimes on was the original StarCraft.
Yeah, okay. I played shitloads of Diablo 2, StarCraft, all Counter Strike,
Hmm.
but that was way back.
Yeah, I
Now,
didn't have as much options, like constantly
yeah,
games coming out and going on sale.
it's true. Maybe that's what it
Hmm.
is. But even when we were playing Warframe, they had a lot of games coming out too. So
Hmm.
maybe it's different. Maybe it's not. I don't think that it's that much different than a few years ago. But stuff like the Division, I sat on that game for probably like 3 months, or played it for maybe solid every day for like 2 months, maybe, or a month and a half. Same thing with ESO for about a month and a half. I think I have more hours in ESO than I do in the other. But it seems like,
Hmm.
oh, well, you never play those games, Janzer. It's like, yeah, but I played them intensely for like my game playing is like hot, passionate fucking. It's just,
Yeah.
and then it's done, and then I'm like, next one, yeah, baby, let's get it on. But it's not. I'm not like the tantric. What's that guy from? Oh God, the Police. They always make fun of that thing about like him being in tantric sex or whatever. I forget his name. The lead singer from the Police, but because he will talk about it like in interviews. Oh yes, Sting. There you go. 7 hour tantric lovemaking, whatever. It should be a meme. If it's probably not because it's too old for young kids to understand. But yeah, it's just too old in general. But still, it is kind of funny. But yeah, there's some game I just don't play those games that long. Like Mad Max, I played that intensely for I don't know a few weeks or maybe a month or something. I loved it, and when I'm in playing that game, I love it to death. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go shit on every other game just because people aren't into the game I'm into. you know,
Yeah.
like I don't think that people really were that into Mad Max when I was playing it, but I was. That's just what it is. It's just like, oh, that's cool. All right, neat.
I bought that well. I just never got around to playing it, but I want to play it. So it's just a matter of, fitting it in whenever it fits in.
Yeah, now you got Steam Summer Sale. So much
Yep.
going out there. Have you guys bought anything from that?
Nope.
I'd be honest, I actually kind of looking at one of those Black Desert packages that they have just because
Oh, shit.
I spend so much time in the game. So I was like, you know what? This would be my one-off, thing, and that's it.
Yeah, Volt's typed in chat, and it's almost unreadable to me, but I got it. I hate you. I hate Q. I can't read it. Never mind.
Cause
Yeah, QC. Well, Qs. All right, I'm done. I'm stopping.
I hate cause you like as a game.
Yeah,
Game.
I can imagine the voice he would do it in too.
Yeah,
I did
exactly.
mention there was one game that I got. The only game that I found of value. Not that any of the other games are shit, but that I found a value based on the price and based on me playing it. The Wolf Among Us. Yeah, I finally bought that for like $6 or something like that. Because even though
got
I've
it,
seen it
okay.
a bunch, I know that I'll have a good time playing it, and yeah, I'll probably stream it too, of course. So, but
Nice.
yeah,
There are a few things that are on my wish list that are on sale, but I want to go through and look it through all of it, and I just haven't had the time yet since it got out. But I still have time to go through. But I'm gonna end up probably going through and like the show me all the things that are on special and like click through like 30 pages based on like price or something and just see if there's anything that's interesting to me. But I have a whole bunch of games to play, so I'm
yeah.
not like itching.
Like,
So
I
I'm
really-
just looking for like the really good deals.
No, that's true. That's true. Like maybe you're not interested in buying anything else at this moment, but if it's a really good deal, you're like, I really want that game. I know I'm not going to play it now, but that's a damn good game. See, Cab Factor's saying Dark Souls 2, but guess what? I bought it for like I think $10. So I think the deal that it's at right now is not worth it to me. And I think that's on Humble Bundle. That it's kind of I think it's on Humble Bundle right now for a price. I bought it really cheap, so I think the price that I saw it for wasn't that good. Even Dark Souls 3 is not that cheap right now. It's like 20 something or whatever, 25, 27 or whatever, I think. See, I want Ghost Recon Wildlands, but I don't want it for $40. Like, it's still expensive because that was still a really high selling game back at like a couple of months ago. It was top of the charts, in fact.
Yeah, it was tough.
You know?
That's actually one of the best selling games for the year. I think
Yeah.
it's not the best-selling game for the year
And here's the
so
thing:
far.
I still don't think that it has a lot of content. You know, I really don't. But
No.
I know that based on how it plays, I would have a good time with the mechanics. And so, because I had a great time playing the demo, I had a fucking great time playing the demo of that game, and I could see wandering around like just I love that kind of stuff in video games, you know. So yeah, when it goes down to like $15 or $10, I'll totally buy it. I told Count. I was like, he was like, "Oh, what game I'm going to work tonight. I need to know what game." I was like, "No Man's Sky." I was like, "No, I'll buy No Man's Sky when it gets down to $5, and I will play the shit out of it for $5." But it's like 27 or 25 or something like that. Ridiculous.
Yep. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go through and see if anything is spectacular, because there might be stuff that I want and stuff that I would play, but if I'm not gonna play it anytime remotely soon,
Right.
I can always wait for a potentially better deal. But if something is like really, really good sale, then I'll pick it up. But yeah, so
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess summer sale. Yeah, not really. I mean, Count was saying there was a lot of stuff, but I'm like, I guess it depends. But he always likes buying games, you know? He's always getting something new. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, don't forget too, there's also Bundle Stars, which has their sale going on. They've got some pretty deep cuts in there too.
It really depends. See, Bundle Stars usually has big sales regardless, you know? So, but Count bought like something like Shadow of Mordor. They already had it on sale, so it's not on sale right now. But, you know, it really depends. Like Dead Cells, I can see right now is $12.40. That had come out just a little while back. Yeah, it really depends. I mean, you just got to go browse around. There's a Shadow of Mordor bundle. I don't know what it is. It's not the Game of the Year edition, but it's for $4.99. It's got a crap load of like DLC with it too that I'm looking at. 18 DLC. This is the DLC. This is the Game of the Year.
That is the Game of the Year.
$5. Yeah. Yeah, there's stuff. Mad Max is $5. I don't know. Yeah, it's honestly worth $5. But you know, the difference between Shadow of Mordor with all of the content and Mad Max, it when you start looking at it that way, it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'll buy the other one instead. Just kind of depends on what you really want to play. Conan Exiles, no way. I don't want that game. I know you pay for that game. Ooh. But it's only part of a game.
Dongs, man.
It's only part of a game. But yeah, Bundle Stars. That's just speaking of Conan, that reminds me of like I think Friday the 13th, like bad releases or whatever. Friday the 13th apparently gave out free DLC and like a retro Jason based on like the original, like the 8-bit Nintendo Jason video game, Friday the 13th video game. It's just colorized. It's not like an actual 8-bit character. That would be hilarious if they put. I'd actually like to see that, like an 8-bit version of a character inside of like a, you know, like a really decently rendered. Although some of the faces those characters make are like crazy looking, but whatever. So they gave out. Let's see. I'm going to paste this here again. The DLC is stuff like you get 13,000 free customization points. So that's like outfits and all that different stuff. I think you can also get like kill animations, you know, for Jason and stuff like that. You can buy those like different ones. Everyone also is going to be able to participate in the double XP scheduled for this weekend, apparently, June 23rd, 25th. The DLC launches on the 20th, so apparently that already launched. But yeah, there was some that. I guess everybody got that retro Jason added to their roster. That part I didn't read. I didn't see in there. I'm just assuming that became a thing. But yeah, that was like free DLC. And that's good because of all the damn issues they've had with their servers, you know. It's just good that they're actually doing something, you know. I mean, just the customization alone. Sometimes that's why people will bother playing a game. I'm going to raise my hand here on that one. So getting like free customizations is awesome.
Yeah, I just hope they don't give away too much, kind of like how Evolve did when they started to give. Oh, you can give you some more XP, and all right, give you all this stuff, you know, and then people get stuff, and then they get bored and say, all right, yeah, we're gone again.
I don't really
and
know
never
that
come
was
back.
Evolve's. I mean, Evolve had a multitude of issues.
Yeah, they had
there.
more problems than that, but that
Way
also
more.
didn't help the situation. I mean, they had to do something, but it just didn't really help
Yeah.
people stick around.
Yeah, that was just a big mess as it was. Yeah. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, I ran across some game called Solstice Chronicles MIA, and I watched the gameplay of it. Here's the link. I'll throw this in the chat real quick. And it just reminded me of like the dialogue and the fact that you had like a little not an Ordis, but it's kind of like an Ordis. What's the Ordis in Destiny called? The little guy that kind of cube.
Ghosts.
Ghost. There you go. They had that kind of thing with like a female like talking or whatever. And I was like, is this like a top-down Destiny kind of in a way? Like not really intending to be, but kind of like not. It probably isn't, but that's the feel that I got from it.
The little floaty thing, whatever, does look similarly like a cube or a diamond or something like the Ghost does from Destiny, and it's got that sort of like generic, the suit of the character does have that generic like Halo Destiny looking power armor space astronaut stuff.
Yeah. So you're some kind of space soldier or something, and you're going around and you're fighting things. There's one huge monster that I saw. It's top down, like I said. So, but it looked really good as far as graphics are concerned, and it looked kind of neat. I don't know what the price point on it is going to be, and I don't know when it comes out. A lot of don't knows here, but Solstice Chronicles MIA, if you're looking for a top-down kind of like shooter, yeah.
The trailer link itself says apparently launching July 26th.
There you go, July 26th. Great. But yeah, at least go check it out. And like I said, I'm leaving the link in the notes because anytime I listen to a podcast and somebody says, oh, look at this thing, I'm like, man, if only there was a link, I could just click on it and look at this. So I'm starting to try to do that here. But yeah, pretty neat little game. I don't think I really explain much of it. It's because I don't really know too much about it, so I just kind of like glanced at it and was like, oh, that looks neat, let me check it out. And it's like, yeah, that's worthy of like bringing up the name of. We deemed this worthy. Yeah. Yeah, all right, well, Paragon new character announced for the 25th. Wraith, apparently he's like another soldier assassin, kind of like Kalari is the idea.
Kalari, but ranged.
Well, right. Yeah, he's more of a, I guess, support in a sense, because the thing is he has like a what would you call it? Like he can shoot through a wall. All right, we'll get it out of the way. He can shoot through a wall, so that's not. Yeah, that's definitely like a range attack, and that's not even his ultimate. So yeah, I don't even. I get assassin. There you go, ranged assassin. Right. Yeah, he's got like recon option. I know he can throw out like a little recon bot that like floats or something like that, or flies, and he. I think that it does at least, and it can like kind of like pulse and I guess show you where your enemies are on the map. It looked like you could actually look through structures, is what it was, and see like kind of like an outline of them or whatever. Some kind of weird graphical look of them. What else did he have? He had this one ability that like rewinds time is the best way to put it. So that's why I was kind of struggling on like, he's more of a support in my opinion. He's not really an assassin. I know he has that one ability to shoot to people, but that's why I consider him more of a support, because with the recon option, his ultimate, it stealths your team. So I'm assuming there's a range that stealths people in the area that you're at. So you can go in like all stealthed. That's his ult. So shooting through a wall or a structure, I don't know how far that shot goes either, but we did see it go through like one wall and kill somebody. That's a normal ability for him. I don't know what the cooldown on for that or what the cost is or anything, but I hope it's not like really cheap. But yeah, that other ability, the rewind time thing, people were talking about like, well, that would be an interesting counter to phase pulling somebody out of danger. But I'm like, what's the range on rewinding time though? Because once they pull them out of danger, that means that they pulled them back. So you'd have to be able to click on that person and target them and enact your ability in order to pull them back forward, basically, in a sense,
I didn't get to really look at the video for him, but in the video where he rewound time,
Yeah.
did everyone else go backwards? Because when
I
I
did
heard
not
you
see
mention
that happen.
yeah, because when you mentioned that he could go back in time, that actually reminded me of a character that I think that he came out
There's
last
the
year
link.
for League of Legends. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he came up a character named Echo. But basically, what happens is that you do whatever damage you do to him, he can rewind that, and he also rewinds where he was at that point in time before you hit him. So they say, I think he rewinds for maybe 5 seconds before, so you could do serious damage to him. He could be one hit away from dying. He hits that ultimate ability, and then it will pull him back, reverse all the damage, and take him back to the spot before you engage that. So you can, and there's something else he can do with it as well too, to jump back at the people. But that's
I'm
what I
gonna
thought
say
about this
no.
character. Not
because I looked at the video
Mhm.
and there is a Decker that is running towards a Wukong. The Wukong jumps forward. This ability called apparently Back It Up. It basically makes the Wukong stop midair and go backwards and land. The Decker then shoots him. She was running forward. So if they rewound her, she would have been pushed back too, and she would have only been running up at the time. So I'm imagining that it's just the target itself. Plus, that would be really annoying if I got
I was just gonna say that would kind of be similar to when you first played Warframe and those commanders would switch teleport you, and you had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Oh God!
It would be just as jarring. Imagine you're playing the game and you're going and attacking that guy, and then you just get rewind back in time, completely back to the spot. You're gonna be completely out of sync.
That's part of it, but to add insult to injury, what Warframe developers did was they made your character do an animation
shake it off like,
what's going on?
What?
I don't know. This has never happened before. I'm a space ninja assassin, and I've never seen this.
It's basically like a stun. Like, not only do they teleport you, but you're immobilized.
Yeah, you can't do anything. Yeah. So yeah, that's neat that you've played League a bit, so you can always kind of recognize when people try to oh, what character is this Overwatch character like? And it's like Overwatch, it's more of a MOBA than Overwatch. I don't really. What was the comparison? Reinhardt to Steel, but I don't think they're anywhere near the same.
Just because they have a shield that extends into a wall. Yeah.
Right. And even now, even if that were the case, can Reinhardt throw his shield?
No.
Okay. So hey, Volts, how's it going?
Hey.
So originally Steel could throw his shield. He can't do that anymore. But I do know that Reinhardt can spin around like a fucking idiot with his shield, unless they change that. But I knew that. I've seen videos where he can spin like a top, and the shield's just going all. Absolutely. Isn't that the guy with the shield?
Yeah,
Reinhardt is the one with the shield, but I don't think he spins around completely. Unless they're talking about him, you're able to change your view to a different direction pretty much immediately.
Yeah, that's what he means. And people were doing that so that they could just spin around and loop around doing that.
Okay, you're talking semantics, it sounds like. If the shield spins around, the shield spins around. That's all it is. So yeah, because I've seen it in videos. Now, they may have changed it. I don't know if they have or not. But you can't do that. You could never do that with Steel. You still can't do that with Steel. In fact, Steel was a gimped. The shield is almost useless, actually, because it doesn't stop all projectiles. It doesn't allow you to even turn when you have your shield deployed. It's basically something that needs to be tweaked. But anyways, it's just neat, hearing, oh, this character is very similar to, a League character. And I was like, yeah, that makes more sense. Would you say Wraith... Well, you did say Wraith. He's got that one ability that's kind of similar to, a League character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's got a stealth, Team Stealth, which is his ult. He's got the rewind time thing. He's got shoot through wall. And the last thing is the recon drone or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think he's going to really change up the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see a lot of players doing a lot of team ganking on people. Like, he can send out that recon drone and sees what's going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
And then he can cloak 1 or 2 people with him and just roll out and just have the jump on some people. I can see in PvP that people are going to take full advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because now, you know, you have to go, one person can go and get the river buff where you would be, you know, cloaked. No, his whole team could be there and they could just, you know, or maybe 2 people, you know, just to be even more sneaky, you know, just
Oh, yeah.
disappear, and
The fake
all of a
out.
sudden they was like, hey, where'd those guys go? Oh shit, it's too
Yep.
late.
Surprise assassins.
And the other thing is,
Mhm.
like, is an AoE effect, meaning, like, if they go off in different directions, can you have multi-pronged attack? Or is it only a, like, okay, you have to be within a certain range of the guy itself, you know? So, you know, we'll see how it goes, you know? It just, not really sure yet. But, yeah, next Tuesday, basically, I think, is what it is. Is it? No.
29th is
Sunday?
Thursday?
Sunday? The 25th?
What's the date? Oh, 25th? 25th is
That's 2 days from now.
I
so
wrote down
Sunday.
the 25th, but I could be wrong.
Sunday.
Sunday?
That
That's a
can't be
weird day.
right. Yeah, I probably have it wrong. Let me take a look at the video here. again.
27th.
The
Available
27th. There you
June
go. Available
27th.
June 27th.
There you
What
go.
the
It's
fuck was
Tuesday.
it?
Tuesday.
Something, that I was doing at that time was like, the 25th is a thing. Now I'm going to have to go find out what that is. Okay. But, yep. What's up, Volts?
Hey.
Weaver did the same thing in Dota 2. I missed that. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Undoes damage. Okay. All right. So League
Undoes
had-
damage and goes back to the same location, Tracer and all that. You probably already said Tracer.
No, we didn't. And that's the thing, though. This has nothing to do with the character himself being rewound. He's rewinding other characters.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
But are they going to... Question is, are they going to do the whole... Will that player undo damage if Reaper decides to rewind time on that character?
Reaper? You mean Wraith?
Right.
Yeah.
Wraith.
Okay, you're saying,
I'm
like,
not
if he
sure.
already does the damage, is that going to rewind? That's a very good question.
Yeah,
Because
they didn't indicate anything like that in the video.
yeah, the video
So
doesn't
that
really
would-
show that.
So that would to bring up any trolls.
How?
Oh, hey. I see you there, Kalari, doing a lot of damage to that person, so I'm going to rewind the time on your opponent and give you shit. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
It's a good. It's a good point. Rewinding
People
a
will find
target.
trolls.
Yeah, rewinding a target would be any target. So that would either reposition them if maybe or not. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of characters that technically you control with already in the game.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Phase.
You know? Yeah. Well, besides Phase, like I was playing, like I said, I was playing Howitzer. His mine also, it blows back anybody that's in the vicinity of that mine.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's going to get a buff, I could just knock them out. No, mine. You know, then get it with my R2000 missile. So
Or you could put the bomb behind the alley and knock them forward into the tower.
yeah, or
the enemy
Greystone
tower,
with
just
his
lift them
goddamn
up.
circular bullshit, where he goes and stands on a buff where you're attacking, and he's pretty much going to get it because of that garbage. But yeah. So there's
Benefit
already a
win
lot
kind of
of
thing.
like trollish kind of abilities. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. That's a very good point, Volts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teleport also had a janky animation that. Oh, okay.
We already covered that. Yeah, that was like the immobilization discussion. That,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that'll be interesting.
Who knows what will happen?
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. You know, everybody in the comments is like, the draft dodge, boys, it's coming. Yeah, everybody drafting because they want to, meaning dodging that initial hero pick because they want to play Wraith. The same thing who happened with Wukong. The same thing happens with Morgash. It's always going to be Revenant. Yeah, but that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, like, even with League and with Paragon, no, they play Paragon more than they play League.
Yeah.
And new characters out. All right, cool. I'll play them in a couple of weeks.
You know,
but
all they
I
have to
only
do.
just started playing Phase, and she's been out for a while now. So yeah,
Yeah.
I can wait. Most people won't, but yeah.
They just have to punish them harder for 1 week. That's all. You know? That'll
Yeah,
stop that
Yeah,
shit.
but you gotta be careful with that too, because like the same thing that happened to me this week, where we started the game and then for some reason it said, "Hey, you didn't connect," or it gave me that error message saying that you were AFK. And I was like, but I was waiting for the game to start. I wasn't AFK. I was sitting right here. And then we got that little 4-minute penalty. So imagine like something like that happened though, and they say, well, it's 10 minutes now, sorry. And I was like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So
but how often
can
has that
backfire on
happened?
you.
Like I'm not a fan of like
so
I'm not
far.
a fan of like
But-
we're not going to do anything because one person might get affected that doesn't, it's like, no, we'll fix that. Go through support.
I agree, but what they might have to do is put something like, I kind of stand for Q dodging.
Yeah.
You gotta do that penalty. But like in League, they have this thing where if you leave a game, you get a penalty for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to my friend a lot because he has 2 kids. So sometimes we're playing and he's like, oh shit, kid went and did something, or I gotta go and do something for the kid. So he says, look, I'm not gonna leave my character in the game. I'm gonna just disconnect from the game and go, because like the AI, if they see that one character is left, they will leave one AI back at the base. So he said, I won't give the team. I'll disconnect. And then sometimes he can't get back before the game finishes. And he gets a penalty for that. So he's gotten like multiple penalties because, hey, I want to play the game, but I got a real life.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so then he gets punished.
I don't want to be mean or anything, but like, yeah, real life does take precedence, and it's not.
It does.
It's not really like that's a game. Should he not get punished? I'm like, I don't know. That's like a case right there. That's a case that you have to work out. Like, okay, what do we do in this situation? Because that's not a norm, or maybe it is for some people. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got no answer to that. Other than
I'm just saying, they got a lot of mature gamers that around our age that are and older that have responsibilities that sometimes pop up. So you got to cater towards some of that stuff too.
Well, if he gets that penalty, that happens the next time he tries to match.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say if it wouldn't matter because he's just like whatever, But if he just leaves the game on. Oh no, but it doesn't start until you try to like. You have to actually try to match.
The good thing is that majority of us are around the same age, so we're like, you got a penalty? No problem, we'll wait. But there's some people that will see that shit and be like, what the fuck? Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for this shit.
A game like McRoy, where you die once and you're pretty much out of the game. If there is something that pops up, just do a suicide run, and there you go.
If something that pops up, what? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, if you have to do something, you just go take your character into the front lines, whatever. See, then other people on your team are going to be like, man, this fucker's feeding, or like being an asshole. Great, we lost one. Now it's like 8-on-7. So, I mean, because I watched a game today where this guy in Paragon was like, oh, this guy disconnected? Man, fuck this guy, And his mod in chat was like, well, maybe something happened, He's like, well, then he shouldn't be playing. And I was like, that's a hard stance to take, but I don't really know. Like, you could be on either side there. It's like, whoa, I don't have a good answer for that.
Personally, I can't be on either side. I gotta be on the side of logic. Something could happen to him too at some point.
Well, logic then says
something happens to him. So
yeah. But that's such a narrow case if it is something like my light got blown off, that's a very narrow case. Versus like if you're going to have like problems with your baby, that's really not the game for you to be playing then. Honestly, and I don't want to be the asshole, but I had to say it. That's not the game you should be playing then,
It's like one of those things like with kids, At any moment your kid could do something crazy and you have to step away. It happens. There's also the way to work around that. You play a game that you can pause, or you play when the kid's supposed to be sleeping. And then again, of course, there's things go in and out and things that could or can happen, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But some things you can control and some things you can't. But there's also some way that you can try to control as much as possible, as much as you can. So, I mean, it's always, there's a range and it's a spectrum and blah, 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 blah. So,
Yeah, to remember, it is a game. It's not like, there is no entitlement here. Like, about like, but I should be able to, it's a game. You need to take that perspective, not you, but that perspective needs to be put in place of like, but I really want, okay, now you're acting like a child. Think about what you're thinking. Yeah, you want to play, but you got to do shit. That sucks. All right, it sucks.
It is frustrating, but it's got to be done.
Play another game.
That's what I said. It's not an issue for us. We know the situation that he's in.
Yeah.
And we're mature enough to say, well, look, all right, we can all wait 5 minutes, just like how we did for Paragon, and say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, the game fucked over Phil, so
Yeah.
all right, we'll just wait 4 minutes and yeah, we'll start again.
Yeah, there's a stream where I watch for Paragon that's got a young boy, son, and he was like, "Oh, gotta go." Like while he was doing his video editing live, because that's part of the like live stream, he'll do his video editing and all whatever. Like he'll talk about whatever he's doing. But his son was sick that day. He was like, "Well, I'm gonna try to do this, but just forewarning, I may have to go at any time here. So I'm this is just letting you know ahead of time." It's just those real life responsibilities take precedent by far, So yeah, that does suck, but it does also come back down to like, does anybody in the team have a right to complain because somebody's disconnecting? They don't know the reason, and should it be? Is it on them to like be? It's like, wait a second, but this is I don't know. I think you can't get too wrapped up in it, because if you do, then you start looking like a really big douchebag for like, why are they quitting? They shouldn't be quitting. And on the other side, why can't they wait for me? Because, either side starts looking fucking immature as fuck. If you just get too wrapped up in it, it's just...
Yeah.
Entitlement?
That's it.
Just immaturity.
I think there needs to be a punishment in there. And you also, as a person, have to understand that if you happen to get slapped without punishment, then you just gotta deal with it.
And that's why it's repeat offenses.
Yeah,
that's why it has to be. It has to stay like repeat offenses, because if it's just once, whatever. But I'll watch streamers all the time. Draft dodge is what they call it, because they don't want the composition of the team. Like today, I watched even a guy that I really like, and I respect his gameplay or whatever and all that, and I think he's got a good attitude about the game. I watched him draft dodge today because they got a Twin Blast there at the Murloc. Nope, gonna leave. And the Twin Blast doesn't want to change. Draft dodging, boys. Sorry. Because he knows he's going to bring him down an elo. But I'm like, wait a second, I thought you played for fun, dude.
Yeah.
So at some point there, you get too vested into it and they forget it's just a game,
But my thing about that too is then, all right, so yeah, you're going to lose elo or some shit in the game.
Right.
So what about the competitive players? They don't get to draft dodge.
Right.
They got to live and die with the decisions that they made. If the other team gets characters that they didn't want them to get, then it's like, oh, well, you fucked up. Well, best luck. Try to win the game. You can't draft dodge. If not, you forfeit the game. So
if they really want
they could deal with it.
If they really want to, wrap themselves in the blanket of get good attitude, to be fair, the really good people in whatever it is can deal with whatever it is. That's just fact. Like being able to manage any fucking problem, you're a god. Yeah, yeah. But if you need, we don't have the correct, we're not playing meta players, then that's honestly not more professional or more of a quality player. That's someone that is very, they can only do things one way. That's it. They're actually very weak, because they have to have everything lined up a very specific way. They think about it like, well, I already know how this is going to go. And if it's not exactly this way, we're just not going to do it at all. It's like, wow, you're not very good at this, are you? Yeah, I mean, you're very good at one thing, and that's it, As long as all those other things are lined up, you're very good at that one thing. But if anything is out of place, it's like children, Oh, no, but this moved. I can't do it now. This moved. Yeah. I don't know. Paragon. Esports. Everything with esports is better.
If I have no pencil, what can I use to write and sign this piece of paper?
Sorry, Gramm.
Speaking of things, people not being happy with stuff and things coming to an end or whatever. Apparently, in August, when Destiny 2 comes out, the Iron Banner and Trials of Osiris features will no longer be supported for Destiny 1. So they won't have any of those events or weekend things anymore.
Ooh.
What?
Yep. Full-blown shift over to Destiny 2.
How long did they say they were going to support Destiny, though?
I don't know. But
that's a good one.
They're not doing it. So once August happens or something, I think they said August, if you're still like, I'm gonna keep playing Destiny 1, well, you won't be playing Iron Banner or Trials of Osiris. So no hardcore PvP or the big fun competitive event with special drops or whatever. Only Destiny 2.
I think they've gone past the point that they said that they would keep things going in Destiny 1.
Okay, all right.
Our first Destiny. I think they've gone past that. Because I remember that Iron something, what was it? It's called, was supposed to be the last thing that they put out.
Iron Banner.
Yeah, Iron Banner. And that's been out for how long now? A good.
I don't know.
It's in the history of it. I mean, I've really played. I played Destiny once on stream since January. That was the last time I played it. Yeah. But Iron Banner, typically the pattern had been about once a month. They would have a week event of Iron Banner. And Trials of Osiris is every weekend from like Friday to Monday updates.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, like Final Fantasy is no longer supporting like the PS3 version, by the way. Like once Stormblood came out, they're like, yeah, sorry, we're not going to be supporting the PS3 version anymore. In fact, it's shutting down. So that we give you the chance to upgrade if you want to a PS4 version free of charge, which is pretty cool. And that's going to end. Cool. You have up till December 31st, to do that. But the reason being is that has been the piece of technology that has held back everything that they could have been doing with the game. So people are noticing in Stormblood, hey, this is a really cool effect, or this is a really cool fill in the blank thing that was all tech restricted because the PS3 couldn't handle it. In fact, there are instances of like going into like Final Fantasy, I guess dungeons or whatever, getting dead before the enemies that killed you could even be seen because they hadn't even fully loaded in. So like the textures hadn't been, so that's just from stories of PS3 woes apparently. But yeah, everything, is what it is. I was actually very surprised to find out that the Final Fantasy 11 was still going. I thought that died a long time ago, but...
Wait, what?
Yeah, I saw RPG Lover and... oh gosh, what's that guy's name? The radio guy? Psycho LPS.
Psycho LPs.
Psycho LPs, yeah. He said it was supposed to be a Psycho, like, Let's Plays.
The LP stands for Let's Plays, yeah.
Yeah, they were playing one night. I stayed up for a while, like a long while, playing, not playing, but watching them and giving them, like, oh, I remember this area, go do this thing over there, blah, blah, blah. Because I played that for some years, And they're like, you should play again. I was like, hell no. You got to still pay for it. It's like $14 or $11 or any amount of money paying for that level of quality. And Psycho was like, oh, I don't mind the graphics. I do. I'm not paying monthly for something that looks that bad anymore, compared to something. I would pay for Final Fantasy 14 instead if I wanted to.
How long has 11 been out? It's a long time.
Oh my God, dude. It's been out forever. It's been out because, remember, it had PS2 support.
Yeah,
They had crossplay, between that. I would say mid-2000s, like 2006, 2007 or something like that.
I was going to guess 5, 6 or something, or 7. Yeah, somewhere around there, I would think. But yeah, that's a long time.
It is a long time. I know that they were talking about like not having crossplay support for something like Rocket League, for example. Or I think like the PlayStation didn't want to have cross-platform support. And the same thing's happening with like Minecraft. Like the PlayStation doesn't want Minecraft to be cross-platform because they're like, we have to worry about what if the kids like, we're opening them up into a new environment. Shut the. They have the internet.
Yeah.
Do you know what they see already?
That is the shittiest cop-out I've ever heard in my life.
It is. It's a cop-out.
And for 2 reasons. One, that's bullshit. Everybody knows that everything about the internet. That's ridiculous. And 2, Nintendo is on board.
Oh, yeah.
They're like the family
Xbox
poster
and Nintendo.
child. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Now, I don't have those article names or anything, so I can't, but I know there's 2 articles out there. One's about Rocket League, the other one's about Minecraft and something else at the Xbox and Nintendo that are cross-platforming. But PlayStation's
it's
yeah,
Minecraft
no,
and
we're not
Rocket
going to
League.
do it. We've got to worry about our kids or something generic
bullshit
like that.
fucking citation.
And yet, at the same time, they're like, well, no one wants to cross-platform support us on this game. It's like, well, maybe because you don't want to do it with them, you know? So, yeah. There's 2 games out there that I remember where it's like PlayStation doesn't want to do this instance, but wants other people to do it in a different instance. So, yeah kind of funny.
It's bullshit. But it's interesting because Nintendo previously were like, we don't even want to play online. Right. But now they're all over this. And Sony, who before a lot of people are like, oh, they're all about everything. Look at them doing all, like, are now like going backwards.
Oh, it's Final Fantasy 14. I've been sitting right in front. That's why I was talking. That other thing about drop-in support was a side note. But Final Fantasy 14, the director wants to switch an Xbox One version to be like in line with the PS4. Like they want it to be cross-platform.
Yeah, they want everything to be integrated.
Yeah, support for the PS3. Yeah, and then I have that other one. But yeah. That's it. Just silly. So they, but that's what the director wants versus like what the shareholders want, right? So that's a different story altogether. But, yeah, and that would be great. I wish more games were cross-platform. Like I said, ESO, if that were cross-platform, that would be amazing. It would benefit the communities and the games and the companies of so many of these properties, if they were cross-platform, because you'd have that many more people actually being able to like play together. Like The Division, if The Division was cross-platform, I think that would have helped out the longevity of that game, But there's always the citing of like, well, updates to that are going to take longer on that platform, blah, 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 whatever. They've made it work in different instances. You can make the tech work. Stop making excuses. So,
yeah. But I think it'll be interesting because if a lot of these cross-platform things succeed, then I wonder, especially with like how good the Xbox One X appears to be, I wonder, and how well people are liking their Nintendo Switch. I wonder how many people are going to jump ship from Sony to other things.
I don't know. I don't even know if that's a worry. Would it be? How would they know? Like,
I don't know if it's a worry, but it would be interesting because I can tell you from console perspective that like the last couple of years or whatever since the PS4 is out, socially everything is very heavy PlayStation. I mean, even the Lawbreakers thing, they decided to not go Xbox because of numbers,
right? Because
player numbers. So it's so heavily stacked Sony right now that it's interesting because cross-platform is something that I don't think anybody is really, like, gamer-wise against. I mean, the only situation is, like, PvP,
FPSs.
balancing, whatever. Yeah, like competitive shooters. But I think it's something that's only going to connect people, which I think is what people want when they play games.
And that FPS thing, I think, if I hadn't known, we were talking about you, Bam, last night. If I never knew a person like you and what you could do with Rainbow Six Siege and a controller, I would say, yes, we should probably keep things split between different servers because it would benefit everybody. But given that I've seen the existence of somebody that can do things with a controller like I better than I can do with the mouse now, then I'm like, I actually don't see a problem. I really don't.
Yeah,
people on the console...
We played on the PC version.
Yeah.
And I used the controller and I murdered people.
Yeah. And so, people with the controller are like, well, the PC players are going to get better turn, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I think it just depends on the game. Destiny is not a fast-paced game. It is not a quick turn type of game. There's nothing fast about that game, okay? It's a slower-paced game. The same thing like Rainbow Six Siege is technically a slower-paced game. But I see, like you, Gramm, you can charge through that game and still get everything done that needs to be done and have a high kill count and all that stuff. So I'm like, I think it's just a worry. They just need to do it. and stop bitching. You know, put out a game that has cross-platform play like that, and I bet it'll be fine. You know, I bet some people might complain, but if the numbers are really what's going to show. You know, so
I agree.
Yeah.
Talking about interconnectivity, it was interesting. Symbiotic Disharmony shared an article talking about how, and it's an unintended side effect with the backwards compatibility that's happening, where the Xbox One will be able to play original Xbox games, the PS2 equivalent of Xbox, so going back 2 generations.
Right.
So backwards compatibility that way. But apparently, through a LAN connection and using like the original disc, let's say Halo 2, which is a original Xbox game, or Halo 1, if you have an original Xbox, Janzer, and Phil has an Xbox 360, and I have an Xbox One, and we land up, we could all play using completely different systems the Halo 2, which is kind of interesting. That
is interesting.
Works.
That means that you have to all be in the same like building, of course, you know.
Yeah, right.
Same.
But
building.
yeah, I mean, if like you're like, yeah, I don't have a 360 or an Xbox One because I never saw the point, but you had a regular Xbox from like your college days when you landed, whatever.
What games actually work across all 3? I guess because the other ones are backwards compatible. That's what you were saying.
Correct.
Right.
So it's because of backwards compatibility you can do that. So like, if you're like, yeah, I have my Xboxes in my attic, I have like 4 games for it.
Yeah.
And Phil happened to have one too. We could all like just take our most recent ones and do that, which is really not like utility wise, even whatever. But it's kind of neat. It's kind of cool that can be a thing.
Yeah, that's you know, people like Volts, for example. He wanted you to play, what was that game, System Shock 2, with him the other day. So I wouldn't even say that people are not interested in things like that, because they clearly are. You know, I like playing Titanfall. I would love to still play Titanfall with people, but nobody wants to play it. Yeah, but let's say that was a title that, you know, was like backwards. You know, like if it was one of those, if it was in that situation, that would be, you know, and people picked it up for like the newer system. That would be. I could see where that use case comes in.
Because a lot of people console-wise will be like, oh, the new one's coming out. I'll just trade in my old one to help afford the new one.
Right.
But yeah, but you could pick up the game pretty cheap probably somewhere. So yeah, but yeah, it's interesting.
There you go. Yeah, speaking of classic games, classic Sega games from the Genesis to the Dreamcast are going to go free with ads on mobile to download. Apparently, there's going to be something called Sega Forever, a service, but you can also buy you can buy them. You can buy the titles for $2, or you could play them with ads. How invasive are the ads? I don't know. Maybe you watch it before, maybe every 30 minutes. I don't know like how that works. Maybe there's a little bar underneath that has like a banner ad.
Every end of levels.
Yeah, something like that. It's hard to say. So apparently each game is also going to be able to be available individually without that service. But the titles are from the Master System, Genesis, Game Gear, the Saturn, and the Dreamcast. That is fucking insane.
Interesting.
For someone like me who grew up Sega, you know? So the first 5 titles that they listed were Sonic the Hedgehog, which classic, kind of have it. I would probably get that. I'll probably get it on my phone. Altered Beast, hell yeah. Even though it's a simple-ass fucking side-scroller, whatever. Sometimes you want a simple-ass side-scroller when you're taking a dump. Comic Zone, Kid Chameleon, and Phantasy Star 2, which is an RPG. So that's pretty interesting, because Phantasy Star 2 would be pretty interesting. Yeah, especially if you have like a tablet, you know, slightly bigger than a standard like mobile phone, you know? That's even better.
Absolutely.
And that's just, once again, talking about old games and classics and stuff like that. Hell, the most recent old game, or the most recent that I played an old game was something like, I got an emulator and I was playing like a couple of Genesis classics there. But that was a couple of months back or whatever. So yeah, the itch is there sometimes to play games that have gone past that I'm like, man, I sure wish I could play that game again. You know, so, but yeah, interesting. Cheap, $2 is cheap, you know, and then trying it out for ads is not even bad at all. Not even trying it out, but just playing it with ads. It's not as bad at all. So, just thought it was neat.
Yeah. Something else that's neat,
Yeah.
which I'm going to mention, I figured Phil would bring it up, but he hasn't. Player Unknown's Battlegrounds has sold 4 million copies now, which it's only been out for like 3 months, which is pretty crazy, pretty impressive.
4 million copies? Yeah. I think I saw that. Phil died.
I only got... Go ahead.
No, I said Phil died. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Oh, there he is. Okay.
There
Back
he
from
is.
the dead.
I only got one other thing on my list, which is I don't know if you guys even know the title, Ni no Kuni.
No.
Nope. Never heard
It's
of it.
Nope.
PlayStation 3 was the first one, and it's a JRPG, but Studio Ghibli.
Oh, okay.
You guys
Great.
know Studio Ghibli?
Yeah.
Phil, you know Studio Ghibli?
No, I don't. What games did they make? I might know the games.
They make
They
animated
games, they make
movies.
movies and stuff.
Yeah. Think
Oh.
Miyazaki.
Howl's Moving
Miyazaki.
Castle, Spirited Away, Princess
Yeah.
Mononoke.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm not. I know anime, but I'm very limited in what
This
I know.
is like
I
the.
feel like it transcends a lot of anime.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Yeah. Hayao Miyazaki is like probably one of the best storytellers and like slavish animators of this fucking generation. Like, not this generation, but like he's really old at this point. Yeah. Studio Ghibli has made all these fucking classics. They're
for
the
a
highest
long
forms
time,
of
too.
anime that you can get. Yeah.
Mm.
Highly
Totoro,
recommend
all
looking
that
into it.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really quality stuff. Anyway, they worked with whoever, I don't remember, at the PS3 era, and they made a JRPG called Ni no Kuni, The White Witch. It's something that I always wanted to play, but I realized once I eventually did come across a PlayStation 4 that their backwards compatible service is basically non-existent and or garbage. So I was like, well, fuck, I can never play it. But at E3, which I missed, probably because I didn't watch the Sony thing, Ni no Kuni 2 is coming out. So that's in November. So I actually will probably pick that up. But yeah, so Studio Ghibli and a JRPG. The first one apparently is turn-based type of combat. It looks more like the live action type of combat arena, like real time, but it's actually turn based. Apparently this game, from what I saw and what people were talking about it on the gameplay, is that it is full real time. So you are in like a battle arena and you're actually running around and you're hitting like heavy and light attacks and like pulling up like a quick skill menu and doing that, and you're fighting enemies in real time. So it's still like a JRPG in Studio Ghibli, but the combat is no longer turn based, but real time, which for a lot of people I know is a big deal. Because a lot of people find the turn-based combat a barrier for a lot of JRPGs.
It's
So I thought it was really
because
interesting.
That's indicative of a RPG generally.
Yeah, for a a Japanese RPG, it's like turn-based is like extremely traditional and classic, which I love. But so it's interesting. So they're making that switch.
I would like this racing game. I just don't like the racing part of it. How can we get... I'm sorry, it's not that bad. But it's like taking one of the elements of the game out that makes it the game that it is, and like saying, yeah, I like the whole racing car part, but not the cars.
And there's been different like variances somewhere in the between of like turn-based combat and real-time combat, like
Child of Light,
Eternal
right?
Sonata, or
No? Really? You don't think so?
Star Ocean or whatever, where it is a character's turn and they have like 5 seconds to initiate whatever attacks.
No, I think Child of Light is definitely like a mid-round
Child of
like
Light is
active,
absolutely turn-based.
Yeah, it's active turn-based though, because there's things you can do in
like
between.
Super Mario RPG, which is on the Super Nintendo, is also very turn-based. But when enemies attack you, you have like a button that you can time to interact to do a stronger block. For example. So there's interactive turn-based, but it's still extremely turn-based. But so this new combat system in Ni no Kuni 2 is 0 turn-based. You just are running around.
It's more like a character action game then.
Yeah, it's a lot more action-y. So but it's pretty cool. So
action RPG.
But yeah, Nino Kuni
Character
2
action.
in
Yeah,
November.
character
RPG.
action.
No more
RPG.
turn-based.
RPG would be
Yeah.
just full on.
Throw it all in there.
Yeah.
all up in
Watusi
that.
just mentioned PlayerUnknown
Yeah, that's next on my
has
list, actually.
loot boxes available through Twitch Prime and Overwatch as well. Thanks, Watusi.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and PlayerUnknown is sold. I know Gramm had mentioned that in some of our notes, and they had note that they crashed. They got like 4 million sold in 3 months.
He already actually said all that.
Mhm.
You even said your name.
That's
And that's why I said, Phil's
being
dead. Yeah.
Oh, that's part I probably
I
cut
served
off.
enough,
Sorry.
but you were stepped away, so I was
It's
like,
okay.
"All right, happens.
Yeah.
Carry on."
But yeah, anything else besides
Yeah.
that?
But there was another thing too. They said that they didn't. People were saying that because it came under the Xbox exclusive on E3 that it wasn't going to PS4, and
Oh.
they said that that's not the case. That they're looking to bring it to other avenues, but at a much later date. So I'm thinking that Xbox probably just paid for like maybe like a year or so of exclusivity, and then
Oh, yeah.
they could bring it out for other platforms.
Yeah. No, we're taking on all newcomers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, business ways and I guess development ways that makes sense. You don't want to just jump into every single platform and then you can't manage because it's
Not
different
if Billy Gates has
monetary
anything to say about it. I'm kidding. He doesn't even run that anymore.
No.
Shit. That would be, I guess, for the Xbox is Phil Spencer or something, right? That runs the head of the
Yeah, I think that's the
Xbox
name, yeah.
division, whatever. Yeah. All right. I just like saying Billy Gates because it's so dumb. Oh man. All right, buddy dog. I gotta put it down. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Yeah. Go ahead.
let's say like on like game related news stuff again. ZeniMax is still fighting that fight for that.
ZeniMax
VR
and
stuff?
Oculus or whatever.
Oculus. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
they won like 500 million
Right.
was awarded to them.
Okay.
But no, they want another 500 million.
Yeah, of course.
they
And your
also want
firstborn.
them to, their firstborn for sure, because they also want 20% of the sales for the next 10 years that Oculus operates in, or they want Oculus to cease and desist from making it.
I remember they had mentioned wanting that, not those exact terms, but I do remember them wanting more money and a percentage of sales, or for them to stop. Like, I remember there was a prior podcast that brought it up. I just don't remember if we knew the exact numbers of it. But yeah, I do know that they had brought that up before. Huh. So now here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they
Give
have
us
the
20%
actual
of your
numbers
money.
and stuff they want. Yeah, so it's basically they sound like Shylock, a pound of
How
flesh.
much for the women? What? Excuse me? How much for the little girl? How much for the women? I'm sorry. Oh God, Blues Brothers. I'm not like looking to buy children. Sorry.
Yeah, you're like that's not an option. What the hell is wrong
Yeah,
with you?
it's not an option. No, it is now. Because why? Because we won one, so we're gonna keep pushing. Yeah. Somebody has.
The greed is strong in them. I can understand. You want back on what somebody possibly stole from you.
Where's the limit? That kind of thing. When does it stop? It's like, all right, they learned that. No, they didn't. We need to kill their entire family. We need to kill their next generation. We need.
Yeah. What I find it so interesting though is because like the only good selling VR headset is actually the PlayStation 4 one.
Yeah.
All the rest are struggling to even get anywhere near competing with them, and Oculus and ZeniMax is trying to tear down Oculus even more. It's like they're not making enough to pay you.
Yeah.
And if you keep crippling them, how the hell are they going to give you 20% of what? Nothing?
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
At this point, it's just a matter. They're just being like, all right, we can be as petty as fucking possible because we won.
Well, and they're also
Deal with it.
It also makes them look really bad. Like even if they're in the right, I think people would look at it like, well, dude, you won money I would never be able to get. Come on, like now you're just being an asshole and that kind of stuff. And also you're not even really. It's just making them and the other people look bad and probably stay down. Like if PlayStation's already above numbers wise, there's just reasons why Oculus or Facebook technically is not going to even bother. Remember, they cut out like that one department that was going to be making games so they could like do animation stuff or something like that, from what I remember. Yeah, so they're already cutting their losses big time.
I think it's a matter of they realize that because it's Facebook that bought them. They're like, "Oh, Facebook, you got billions of dollars. We want some."
Could be.
That's it. I guarantee if Oculus was just trying to do their own thing on the site, and they got whatever they got from them over the first lawsuit, they would have just said, "All right, cool, we're done."
Right. And
or
it just,
said, we want the money and just shut down.
It just starts to like stop good development, and starts just like they're doing this petty shit. And meanwhile, PlayStation's running off with the fucking gold ring there, So
it reminds me so much of like Apple and Samsung.
Oh yeah,
you've got the same looking home button as us. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna sue you for the look of your the look of it, like it's got the same like the size and look of it or whatever. Yeah.
You mean a square or a rectangular shape thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
we
clearly
stole that.
Yeah, the rectangle. That's what we created, Apple. I created the piano key necktie. I created it. What have you done? Nothing.
They tried to stop people from swiping in a direction to unlock their phones too.
Oh God! Damn it!
Nobody ever swiped on any other device or moved something from one side to the next, even with a cursor or anything. They did it first.
I'm going to release a phone where you can only unlock it by swiping it with your dick. And if you don't have one, sorry. So then if anybody wants to say that they want to, that I copyright, like took that from anybody else, like, no, that's mine. I invented the dick swipe.
Yeah.
The only viable objects that you can use to unlock it is either your dick or your tongue.
Available only on the misogynist one.
Oh, the misogynist one. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'll partner with Count on this one. Oh man, I love it already. Greed and all that stuff, but if we don't have to be greedy as gamers because we can get Killing Floor 1 for free. This came from Emphasize. He posted this in the Discord. He's always finding good deals and stuff like that. But like he saw something on SWAT 4.
How the fuck does he do it?
I don't know, but he saw something on SWAT 4 and he was playing some kind of a modded version of SWAT 4 that people in chat were like, "Oh, this is really awesome," But Emphasize on Twitch, that's EMPHASYZE. But he was talking about Humble Bundle for a limited time has Killing Floor 1 free if you sign up for their monthly. Now, I signed up for their monthly to get XCOM 2. I did it for 1 month because it was super cheap, and then I just quit, So it's a nice little deal to get stuff like that. But if you're really interested in Killing Floor 1, that game, by the way, can be modded to high heaven. It is so ridiculous what I've seen people do to that game mod-wise. But there you go. It was a potentially free game, if you want to pay like $10 or whatever it is. Speaking of mods, so let's roll right into it. GTA 5 players angry about mod tools shutdown, and they're taking out on Steam reviews. Apparently, the mod tool place is called Open5 or OpenIV. I can't tell what, because I'm not really into GTA or any of that. But imagine, like, this is a third-party development team or whatever company that is making mods for the single-player instances of GTA 5. And so people are pissed off because, who is it, 2K? I think who do they own? Or Take-Two? I think it's Take-Two owns GTA.
Take-Two.
Yeah, Take-Two. Yeah. They basically cease and desist or whatever with Open5 saying, like, stop that. Basically, they're saying, like, those mods, what some of those mods can do is they can start, they're affecting the GTA 5 online instances, and that's a problem. If it was something that was harmless and that only affected your own, we didn't give a shit. But now that we found instances where people are going in and ruining the experience, so to speak, for people in the online version of the game, because it sounds weird because, everything is online, but GTA 5 online is like an instance of itself, apparently. So that's where they're like, no, we're not going to have that. So what did gamers do? Of course, they did the logical and fully non-emotional, non-irrational thing, and they went and bombed the Steam reviews with negative reviews because they got their little fucking lollipop taken away from them. It's the dumbest fucking thing. Like, Steam should not allow people to go and change their reviews over time. They shouldn't. Lock it in, you know? That's just what it is. But it's the dumbest thing.
They said that they want to do that because also they're looking to do a lot more, like, I guess their own modding for games. So they want to have control over that. I think I understand what they're doing, but I think
the legal response wasn't that. Not that I read. Where did that come from?
Yeah, but they said that I think it was before E3 or something. They said that.
Okay. Are you just putting like 2 and 2 together here? Because the legal response that I read was just that it was because it was affecting online gameplay, like the GTA 5 Online.
Yeah, or maybe I'm mixing it up with a different thing, but
yeah,
I know that. All right, so is this the same one where they actually made the developers of the same OpenVive donate the money that they made from it? Were they selling that as well?
I don't know about that. That could be something. I just know about this one thing.
Sure, that's the same thing, and they made them take the money and give it to charity that they made from it because people had to pay to use the mod monthly or something.
Well, yeah, that goes back to like Skyrim mods and all that stuff. Is like, should you have to pay for that stuff? That's third party. Well, it's work that people did, but it's also in a game engine that somebody else created and you're lucky to even be able to use. They're basically using it as a stepping stone, you know? It's like YouTube, you know? You're making money off of YouTube for the free usage of their servers, the free usage of a lot of things, you know, of them going out and getting advertisement, you know? If you don't like it, go do something else. If you don't like their rules, you can complain about it, but at the end of the day, it's not yours to change. You don't have to comply. Yeah, you either do or you don't. I mean, you can absolutely complain.
At the same time, too, it's something that you would have hoped that the developers would have tried to nip in the bud way earlier, as opposed to letting gamers get used. Because you know who gamers are, you know, are humans in general. That's like the same way where news sites started to put their news online. And then all of a sudden they said, oh, you got to pay a monthly subscription. People were like, fuck that. I was getting this shit for free from before. So you know, once you get people used to something, even if it's like, look, we have to do this or the industry will die. People are like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's true. Like Warframe was horrible about like letting people have unlimited power, and then finally when they would restrict it, people would be like, "Why?" And I did the same thing. I was like, "Uh-oh, you can't feed kids sugar for that long and then expect them to get off of it without any fucking like problems." You know, they're addicted.
It's funny that you mentioned that too, because Warframe got a little bit of a issue going on with them as well too.
Well, what do you guys? But before we transition to that, do you think that that's like a justifiably good solution? Let's go bomb their Steam reviews and make them look bad, because I don't think. Here's the thing: I don't think anybody gives a shit about those reviews because people know what GTA 5 is by now. I don't think anybody new is going to be like, I wonder if this is a good game, especially after like that whole like the role playing shit has been going on with different servers. That's gotten like positive fucking like. You know, whatever.
Yeah, I think that Grand Theft Auto has had such a long tail in terms of sales that they're at the point now where you can't hurt them with negative press because whoever is playing the game or whoever bought the game is going to be playing the game.
And they've also made some of their money off of negative press too.
Yeah. So
coffee.
So I don't So I don't think that this is going to affect. It might affect future titles slightly, but I still think that because of how much people enjoyed this particular one, no matter how bad they feel about this, people are still going to go and buy it. As much as people complain about Call of Duty, going into the future, it still sold more than any other first-person shooter.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So there was a pathetic change.org, and I say pathetic because all of these things never get anything done. If they ever do, it's so rare. You don't do it with the stupid fucking, like, petition online. These things are garbage, by the way, people. They're a waste of time. You do it with your money. You know, this is why I didn't buy GTA 5, because I didn't like how they released it through the consoles first before PC, where they had originally done it with PC and then consoles. They showed me what they thought about PC users. So what did I do? Hey, you're not getting my money anymore. Simple as that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and it goes back to the whole thing about like, oh, Kojima's not working with, you know, Konami anymore on Metal Gear stuff. We better not buy the Metal Gear 5. But it's so fun. But I got to play it because it's fun. And, of course, it sold a shitload, you know. The gamers talk shit, but when they actually do anything, it ends up like, oh, I'm going to buy it because it's on sale. You still bought the goddamn game, you fucking cunt. You know, stand by what you actually say and actually do it versus the change. They got the change.org thing got like 55,000. Who gives a shit? Even if it made their goal to 75, guess what? No one gives a shit. 75,000 users compared to like how many millions play it? Yeah.
I would love for gamers to stop using change.org.
It's not going to do anything.
To petition something because one, it's not going to do anything, and two, it wasn't created for that. It's a fucking video game.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of thing where it's like, you don't try to get that change through government. What you do is you just don't play the fucking game.
But that's how little thought goes into it, though. You got to...
how many
this is Old Man Gaming, by the way.
No.
Old Man Gaming podcast.
I gotta say...
I'm sorry.
You know, hey, I think crazier things have happened with Trump. Maybe he would, actually. Maybe he's bored.
Oh, that? I didn't even think about. I was making fun of the fact that I'm complaining about things like an old man. That's all.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a jab at that.
Gee, I don't know. Well, we could get counted for that.
I'm currently looking at the reviews of GTA 5. Look at the positive reviews. People are saying OpenIV is back. What?
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're working something out. You know how news works, right? So this is just off the article. Maybe I don't know. But until I see something like that, I don't ever trust what a gamer says in a fucking comment. Or maybe
I'm upset that people are negative downvoting it, so I'm going to say something completely opposite to do the opposite because I love it so hard.
Yeah, who knows?
It's all garbage. Don't even look at reviews. Would I predict
that people would even go to the Steam and like negatively affect a game that they've already bought? Like you just go and you change your review, you know, is what I'm thinking they did. Because how could that many new negative reviews pop up unless a sale occurred? The only way I could see that happening is if they went and either never did a review in the first place or changed a review.
They changed. Majority of those people changed it.
Yeah. Which is pathetic.
People that probably never put up a review probably just decided, oh, I can do something nasty now and put this up.
It's pathetic because they've been playing the game. They probably really love the game. They've been playing it for so long. And then they're going to go and take a dump on it because they don't like something that they were getting for free from some other company that wasn't even the original game that they purchased. They don't like the move of that company saying, hey, look, don't do that anymore. Whether it's for profit because they want to go and make sales for their own mods, which is their fucking right. You know, or if it is actually affecting the online, which I'm guessing it's both. I'm guessing they probably found, here's the thing, they probably found some like, is it affecting online? A little bit here. Good enough. Let's take this shit down so we can get our own mods in there, you know? I'm guessing it's something like that too. I mean, companies are not the fucking angels out there either, you know? So, yeah, it's just dumb. Just dumb gaming news is all it is. Fucking dumb stuff. Don't support Rockstar anymore, but people are going to. Red Dead Redemption, gotta buy it. You know,
love that.
Gotta buy it. I can't not buy it.
I'm checking out some stuff there, and I know, and apparently Rockstar is talking with OpenVive, so there might be something where it might actually be coming back.
Maybe they can buy. Maybe they can buy them out.
Agreement.
Maybe they can buy them out. You know. And either get them to work for them or just replace them totally and just buy the name because who gives a shit at that point, you know? Pay them out. So, yeah. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
In a silly way.
Yeah. But, you know, talking about the same thing with gamers and issues with developers and stuff. Like I was going into earlier, or just before you said you wanted to continue that story.
Yeah.
With Warframe, those the Digital Extremes is having the issue now because they've been going after data miners now. But they went after one specific data miner who wasn't the person that caused a recent issue. Yeah, I brought it up once, but they sent him a cease and desist letter via their lawyers now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a 17-year-old kid, so he didn't know. Obviously, his reaction was like he just posted online saying, trying to figure out what's going on and get people to, say, like tell them. Basically, and he was trying to contact like DE and say, well, hey, I don't think I did something that merits you bringing lawyers into this situation. I guess he got kind of scared as a kid because it's like, your parents could probably just put you on lockdown after that. But apparently he tried to contact them and they said, well, even like DE, Rebecca said, I sent you a private message in response. I wish the private message said, please defer to our lawyers.
Yeah.
By all rights, that's all she can do because she's only a community manager. I know people were keeping up a fuss saying
you
something.
brought this up a long time ago. Is it the same person? Because I remember you saying they were going after people.
What I brought up before, they didn't issue a cease and desist letter with lawyers involved.
Sure, of course not. This is what I'm saying.
What
They probably warned them.
What I was saying was that before it was 2 other people that did data mining.
But
then some other people took that and was able to pull.
Oh yeah. They pulled
a character out of the game.
There you go.
So what's happening now is because this kid, his name is Void Glitch, by the way. This kid is the main data miner that people look for in terms of stuff for Warframe. He didn't do anything to do with that Umbra stuff that they got really flustered about, which is understandable. And now they're using him as a scapegoat. Basically, that's what it's like. You know what?
You're the most popular target. Yeah, it's pretty normal.
Yeah. So
he's not a scapegoat. To be fair, he's not a scapegoat. He's doing shit that you're not supposed to be doing. They're using him as an example. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Wrong terminology. Because yes, I have been explaining that to people. They're using him as an example, but in the same letter, they did state those things which he didn't do. But anyway, that's like semantics.
Yeah.
My whole issue with the situation is that it escalated way too far. Way too fast.
Yeah.
Basically, I think that both sides are wrong. One, you shouldn't be just digging into people because some people are saying, "Well, you just data mining, man. He just pulling stuff. Is out there already in the game." It's like, no,
it's
already in the game. But what people don't understand that when you pay for a game, you don't say like, "This is my game now." No, you pay for the rights to play this game. So you are renting this game. That's like you go and you rent a house. Oh, you don't say, "This is my house now, so I could just tear down a wall." No, you can't do that. You're paying for the rights to use this thing within the terms of service.
There is
that also is in the terms of service that you should not data mine, that you could lose your account for that, which happened to the same Void Glitch guy.
Right. You're doing it at your own expense there.
Yeah. Should they have gone directly? Well, I think they tried to contact him before and maybe didn't get through or something. And they just immediately jumped to lawyers. I think that was a bit
sounds like the price of fame too. Like he was the only one they knew or something, I bet.
Yeah, he was the face pretty much of most known for that. I don't think they should have gone to lawyers so quickly, but it's their business and it is a business. So I can fully understand that's you're gonna go that particular route. When the people above, when you they gotta respond to like their investors, which is like Layu and Perfect World as well.
Yep.
And when they say, hey, no, we don't want that shit, they can't say, well, he's just a kid. Nah, they don't care.
Yeah, it's true.
So at the end of the day, when legal matters come up, it's unfortunate that's the situation, and it is causing a little bit of backlash, and people are trying to jump on this side or that side. And honestly, I think that people should pick no sides because both sides are a bit wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, both sides are wrong. And they should just be squashed and say, like, hey, just don't do this shit no more. And we won't do this shit no more. Cool. Move on.
It's a dumb
both
situation.
Sides are wrong.
Yeah,
so it reminds me of some drama that happened in the past.
Yeah, it's a dumb situation because it's data mining, which happens to every fucking game. Paragon, for example, Wraith, people knew about that. In fact, I was in chats prior to, like, days before, and people were like, oh, did you hear about the new blah, 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 telling streamer, the streamer at the time. It's like, what do you do about that when people were just like throwing that information at you? It's like, even if you don't want to know about it, now you know about it. But apparently people were also saying like, that may or may not be the case because apparently what the developers Paragon do is they've also trolled the people with with fake data mine stuff too.
Yeah.
So they were like, that may be the thing, and it may not actually be. How much do we actually know? So I was like, that's kind of like what that does. What that is the developers of Paragon saying, look, we know we can't. It's too much of a pain in the ass. Going the legal route makes you look fucking horrible as a company.
Yeah.
You're making video games. It is a business, but it's also supposed to be fun. You have to have a positive image, right?
Yep.
And it sucks because you have to take everything that people, as a creator, as a streamer even, you have to take things that people throw at you, and you have to look good while you're getting hit in the face. If a troll shows up or whatever it is, you have to just pretend like, oh, that didn't bother me at all, that kind of stuff, right? You have to take the insults on the chin, and if you do anything bad, quote unquote bad, to the trolls or whatever it is, then you're the one that looks like the asshole, because they should be unaffected. You should not be affected by what they do. And in my mind, I'm like, no, fuck that shit. Because I don't run my channel like that. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'll fucking ban those motherfuckers. I'll make fun of them on stream all I can, that kind of stuff too. But as a company that's bigger than a stream, clearly you can't do that. And so I think the Paragon devs are like, no, we'll just, instead of, it takes money too. But like you said, they have investors, the Chinese investors, they probably have a lot more money now. So they probably have a legal team, so they can probably deal with all of that now too, versus one 17-year-old kid who's doing something because he thinks it's neat. And he's got internet fame because of it too.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do would have is just troll so hard that anything that he would have done would have been discredited. It's like, oh man, stuff you're finding isn't real anymore. Or the same way that some game developers say, oh, you want to hack and get our game? Cool. If you get the hack version, your gun is only going to shoot chickens, or there's going to be a monster that's going to kill you regardless.
Yeah, the devs from
like that, discredit them, just make them look stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has to deal with it. They're dealing with it with the old school way, which just makes you look like a fucking piece of shit. I will legally bring this to, oh God, so is it right? Yeah, sure. I'm like, do it. It has to be done. It sucks that as a 17-year-old kid, but at the same time, everybody wants to do everything without consequences just because they feel that they can. Like Rakshaw put something up a while back, like a tweet. He said something. The tweet said something like, I don't know if it was from him or whatever, but he was posting a hypothetical. It's like, is it immoral to steal, software for a purpose? Let's say you're up and coming graphic designer and you want to be able to use Illustrator and Adobe, Suite, but you can't pay for their fucking expensive licensing, right? This was back, let's say, I'm going to put it back in when I was going to school, back before they had their cheaper monthly stuff for students now. Now it's so cheap that if you fucking pirate their stuff now, you are a piece of shit, because their monthly is so goddamn cheap. It's $15.
Of course, it's not.
I guarantee you're buying $15 worth of like Starbucks bullshit sugar drinks as a student, in 2 days probably, because that shit's expensive. But yeah. Anyways, point being, back then it used to be thousands of, fucking $1,000 or $1,500, $2,000, whatever it was for the license. What do you do? How do you make a portfolio when the current generation of graphic design is digital? Do you do all your stuff hand drawn and then just use the computer stuff, at the school and hope that you get it all together, or do you get a pirated copy? And for example, Maya, when I was doing 3D, the 3D develop our professor was like, here's the software you need to get. It's here in the lab. You can use it here, on campus. They only had so many, maybe like 8 machines, something. I don't know what it was. We had a very small amount because we're a small program. And but at the beginning of the semester, he was like, so here's the software, I'm not saying that people may or may not have this that I'm not saying that some of them are even in this classroom, but I will say that I'm going to go get a coffee and I'm going to be gone for exactly 15 minutes. And that's what so what we did? Swap fucking software. Because so is that moral? Is it immoral to do something like that? And I was like, it's not, but it's amoral, meaning it. No, it's not. Because you got to look up what a moral thing is. But it is amoral because you're choosing to not see morality in it. That's my answer, at least. Now, you could say it's immoral because people are getting hurt by it in some way or another.
That's not going to hold up in court, though. So
sure. But no, this is hypothetical. That's why I said it's hypothetical. My answer was it's amoral because that person is choosing to not see that there's any kind of repercussions or any morality behind it in any way, shape, or form. I had to go look up I was like, let me look at the exact wording behind these things. So that's how I came up with it's amoral. But anyway, it's something to think about. It's not right. We know it's not right.
Coming from that same background and having
me too.
used pirate software, my logic on it is, look, steal it till you can pay for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? At some point, you repay them by actually being able to buy a legit copy.
Yep.
And, hopefully you work yourself to that point, and then you're like, all right, cool, it could be legit now, because you can't really expect the average person or small company starting up to be able to afford that stuff.
To be able to buy their $1,000 program.
Yeah, exactly.
So now video games, on the other hand, is it to me, people stealing video games, downloading them free and saying, it doesn't matter. To me, they're not essential. So it becomes a matter of no, fuck you for taking money out of somebody else's pocket. Even in the B3, I mentioned it before. Somebody was like, well, it doesn't matter. Well, I was like, you're right. I don't need health insurance for the year. Go ahead and steal all the software that I wrote. And the guy was like, he was quiet. And I was like, you don't realize what it actually does is it makes no money. Well, the companies are huge. It's like going to work at a retail place and saying I'll just take money out of the till because the company's so big, they'll never see this. It's like, okay, what's the next line that you're going to cross? Where are you going with this? you know? So I'm not about stealing. Could I? Sure. But it's just not, you make that decision. You could say it's not killing anybody. True. You're not outright murdering. I guess that's okay then, right? Everything's okay until you outright slice somebody's throat. I guess that's what we're getting down to. I'm sorry. Oh, shit.
That got dark quick. Yeah.
That's my normal humor. I'm happy with it. But so this kid, probably going to get his throat slit by digital streams. Okay, got it. Legally. He's allegedly.
Yeah. Well, it's only a cease and desist, so it's not we're coming after you kind of thing. It's like, all right, this is your last warning, motherfucker.
I could have that thrown on me too for work that I might show if my company, the one that I previously worked for, says you can't show this work at all. How do I have a portfolio of work then? But I have, I understand.
I've had that numerous, I have no portfolio other than random stuff I did for people because all the work that I've done at companies, I spent 6 years at one company and other years at others. I can't show any of that stuff because it's theirs and I don't own any rights to show any of it, so I can't.
But you have to anyways, and you do anyways. I mean, I know I do because honestly, all I at the end of the day, I'm like, well, it's not mine, but I worked on it. So
Well, after the last company I was with for 6 years, with them, I ain't keeping nothing from them. I left clean because as y'all, they were just trying to be too nasty, and I got over there on top, and I was like, I'm not letting anything that they could come and try to backlash and throw at me after the fact. So I was like, I'm done cutting ties with them.
There's sort of a bit of a truth for me when it comes to programs for creation.
You're a thief. I knew it. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, go ahead. Assassin's Creed, real life. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
With a hoodie on, slashing throats.
He's a Templar.
Fold steals all of the collector edition.
No.
He steals souls
out of the game. He stole all those cool statues.
Soul Reaver. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Paint Tool Side, the program I use for those drawings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That program. I see it here available for purchase. I don't necessarily trust the site itself, but I did get the game for free from Away.
A game that you drew?
No, not a game. Not a game.
Oh, a program.
Not a program.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do they want you to send nudes or?
No, I don't. Where are we going with this? Are you thinking this is like Confessionals of a Gamer? We could run that series.
In a way.
All right. Gamer Confessionals. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, there's
Remember
games
that
like back in the day that I got from friends because they had them. It is what it was. You had CD. You got a LAN
No, Paint
party.
Tool Site isn't necessarily a game. It's that program that I use to paint with.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's software. It's software.
Photoshop.
Yeah. But like what Phil said, as soon as I became legit, quote unquote, meaning like I was able to afford food on a daily basis without like, I'm not even, there was parts where I was like, I had to stay with other people, literally had no place to live, quote unquote, homeless, So yeah, once I was able to like, hey, all right, I've got, that kind of stuff. That's why I never had a pet when I was, doing all that stuff. Cause it's like, can't take care of myself. I can take care of a pet. But I've never taken anything like software wise, like everything I get now, I pay for. Or music too, same thing. Music, same thing. Yeah. People look at that as like, whatever. It's like, man, there's so little on royalties anybody gets anymore. I'm just gonna let them have it, And here's the thing: if I really want something and I can't afford it, guess what? I don't fucking get it because I can't afford it. That's what the fucking reality is. There's nothing that I absolutely need that is going to complete my life or extend it one more fucking day if I go and steal it. Nothing, not digitally, that is. Now, there might be like a cure for cancer. There probably isn't, but you have to ask Magic Johnson about that one. Anyway, the point is, you get software in video games. They're not that essential, You could do without it, man. All right?
Yeah.
Work on those.
Maybe if you just, keep touching it, maybe it'll become hardware.
Touching it like the penis, and maybe it become hardware. I get it, and that's a good one, Gramm. You are good. Smart. Mm-hmm. Keep touching it, it becomes hardware.
There you go.
Work on your pickup skills. All right.
Okay.
Can't game in virtual life? Go game in real life. All right. Oh, horrible.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Well, I can say that I did get this tablet by buying it, so there's that, at least.
Speaking of not wanting to pay money for things, I think there's something about Hitman things.
Oh, hell yeah. There you go. Good transition. Yeah, you can play the first level of Hitman. Developer IO Interactive is independent now. They were going to be sold to another company, but apparently they gained their independence. What's that movie? 12 Years a Slave? Yeah, horrible reference, but we'll just use that as this. So now they're on their own independent company.
To Earth, bitch.
Yeah, the game's apparently the game's first location, the ICA facility, can now be downloaded and played in its entirety without anything taken away from it. It's everything about the game. There's no restrictions, whatever. It's just restricted to the first level. You go to hitman.com/free, or just look up Hitman free, and that'll take you. For me, it's like hitman.com/EN for English -US/free. But it'll be in the patch notes too. That's what I'm going to call this now. The podcast notes, patch notes, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to go get it.
Great move by no independent third-party development company. I think that's a good move. Get people interested in the game, and that's their portfolio.
Yep,
showing it out for people.
They were under another publisher, and they were going to be they just took their fucking future into their own hands and did a scary thing. That's scary as fuck.
That was Square Enix. Yeah, Square Enix, and they bought
Squeenix
back to their
They bought their papers. Yeah. They go home now, or anywhere.
Pretty impressive, pretty cool.
Django Unchained. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. I feel like yelling right now because it's the end of the podcast. That's why.
Yeah, that's a pretty big move on their part.
It's a huge move.
Pretty much, they were on the auction host. They were like, hey, look, we can just sell you off to the next bidder because we don't want you anymore. And they were like, you know what? We'll buy it.
I'm my own master.
We'll use our own money, our own assets, and we'll buy it from you. We'll take over our own destiny.
This is near and dear because it's what I'm doing right now. Because I'm my own, I get my own freelance stuff. Like I work whenever I need to work all the time. None of the time I answer stuff. I look for fucking quotes whenever it is, So I understand this. I could go work for another, company, and it would be some security there, but it would also be under the rule of whatever. Or I could do my own thing, and it is scary. So I respect it, and I understand it, and I know how fucking difficult of a thing it is. So go fucking download the game, and if it appeals to you, buy it. But apparently, if you get the free game and you make progress there, your progress will be saved if you buy the full game. So like you'll continue forward with whatever you did. So that's kind of cool. You know?
Cool.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Cool stuff.
I got only one more thing here. I don't know about y'all.
Is it video game related?
It is.
I got rid of all my things.
Okay. I only got one other thing, but it's not video game related, so.
Oh.
And it's small too. Yeah, it's just the Han Solo movie that they're making that's supposed to come out next year, May the 25th. Yeah, the directors for that got fired. This week, and then they hired a new one.
Isn't it Ron Howard?
Yeah, Ron Howard.
That's going to be amazing.
Apollo 13.
Well, everything everything.
All depends on what he has to work with, because they shot a lot of stuff already, and the deadline is still May 25th, as in next May that comes around.
I guarantee he will do whatever he needs to do in order to get out a good movie. I don't think.
What I'm thinking is that
confidence in him.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is that if they're willing to bring him on, and he's willing to take on the project at this point, that they're gonna be pumping some additional money, something somewhere to do some sort of a whole set of like reshoots and other stuff that they plan for. So I don't see him taking on a project
and that's half-assing it.
A piece of shit and have his name on it. So
nope.
Yeah, they can. Whoever is working on that, I feel for them, because they're gonna be working double time, like crew, cast, whatever. But at the end of the day, if it was a shitstorm and they can fix this, you're gonna feel good that you went back and did all that hard work just to get it right. And chances are you're gonna get paid some additional money. You can't go outside of a work contract and make people do more and not compensate them. So
agreed.
I'm hoping it works out. I'm not a big Star Wars movie fan. I think movies are okay.
Yeah, I missed the last one, whatever it was. I don't know. I only saw the one with Rey.
I watched it, but I can't remember. I can't remember the name when I watched it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was Stormtrooper Girl, right? Something like that. I don't know.
Well, she wasn't Stormtrooper.
No.
She was
okay, she wasn't. She was
Rogue
just
One.
Rogue One. That's
Rogue
the one.
There you go.
Yeah, sounds great, but haven't seen it yet.
And one with the Force, and the Force is one with me.
Hell, I barely saw Doctor Strange, so.
Dormammu.
I don't know. It was an alright movie. The humor in it was.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, the humor in it I think was well placed, because it offset a lot of the seriousness that was going on. It was a little off-putting, the humor. It was very like, what? That you made that joke now? But it wasn't like in a bad way. It was just like, huh, good, well played, sir. That kind of thing. So yeah.
Well, I like when a comic book movie, even though it has a serious consequences happening in the movie, that it takes time to realize I can't take myself too serious. I'm a comic book movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Yep.
But the two guys that were the directors, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, they're out.
Yeah.
And they worked on Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, Lego Movie did successfully, but 21 Jump Street could go fucking roll around in hot garbage for all I'm concerned.
So apparently they were butting heads with the people at the top at Sony that were like, no, we don't want that. Well, I guess they were looking at the dailies and saying, what are these guys doing? No, change this.
Oh, no.
They probably were like, no, we're not changing this. You hired us and this is what we're doing. So
I can't fault the directors for that in that case, because to me, I'm always about like hating on upper management, because usually upper management is fucking stupid. So, that's just, they probably were trying to do something.
Yeah, I think somebody fucked up and didn't realize that this is what was supposed to happen. And they were like, no, we don't want this. And then it was just a matter of saying, well, look, what can we salvage? And they went from there. So I'm sure they still can get paid for what they did. So at the end of the day, just go ahead and make your next movie, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the risk that you will always run. Like if you jump in on something like a big franchise like that and you want to put your own spin on it, like that's like me, like not me, but somebody coming and doing the next Marvel movie and just saying, oh, I want to do it like this.
Honestly, that's very normal for people to go in there and make their mark. It's so normal that I can't even imagine that somebody would not do that. I'm more respectful of somebody that respects the property. They always say they want to. Oh, we want to treat their property with respect and blah, blah, blah. All right, yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been pretty clear that like the way that Disney scrapped a whole bunch of all the old Star Wars stuff that people came up with after George Lucas didn't do anything else. It's pretty easy to see that they have a particular vision, and if you don't fit into that vision, then
it's because there was too much garbage out there. There was too much going on.
Oh yeah,
that they needed to like kind of reset everything. That's why comic books do it all the time. You know, they're like, oh, we got to reset it. Oh, 0 hour, motherfucker. Yeah.
There was a lot of garbage within the actual original stuff, too. I'm just going to say, was it mitochondrians or whatever? All right, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Yep, that was my last one.
Yeah.
Oh, and yes, the same Ron Howard, he also did Arrested Development TV series.
Dude, Ron Howard has done so much. He's put his dues in. He's worked on movie. He is a pro, and he's like two pros. He's either going to make a great product or not be part of it, like you said. You know, that's all that's to it. I have full confidence in him.
And interesting enough, he started out as a child actor.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's like he's one of those like very rare entities that's like, oh man, this guy actually progressed into a decent human being and like survived Hollywood as growing up as a kid with all that fame.
Yeah, he did an interview.
To make quality movies.
He did an interview relatively recently. I would say within the last year at least on the WTF podcast. I always mention that podcast every once in a while because that guy, Mark Maron, interviews like actors, directors, musicians, artists, fucking whatever. He fucking interviewed Barack Obama. So, I mean, so he's gone the gamut of like, and he has great interviews because they're very conversational, but yeah, if you want to find out about Ron Howard's history, he talks about it there too. Anyway, side note. Well, I'm going to scrap my last article unless you all have something burning you want. Let's shut this thing down. 2 hours and 43.
Yeah, if y'all have anything burning, y'all should probably
burning in your loins.
You should seek medical attention and don't bring it up on the podcast.
If you need to just shoot, If it's so hot, it needs to come out. One of the two.
Don't word it like that, please.
So what's cute, nice, and hard all over? B3, baby.
Oh,
B3.
Fair enough. Okay, let's get out of here. Thanks, y'all. I know we didn't really talk about Steam Summer Sale, but I think we kind of did. But we really
got this thing.
We weren't that interested.
It tells you when it's on sale. You can look at it, buy shit
the
if
drill.
you want it.
These games, they're cheap. They're cheaper
There's nothing
than
amazing out there.
I have Resident Evil Revelations, but I don't really have any opinion on it yet.
Amazing.
That's all
We expect it next time, though. Next time, I can give you my review. I've watched that game a few different times, and I think who's the actor? Who's the character that you play as?
Jill.
Jill. Okay, it's Jill. Amazing ass. Great swimsuit, whatever the hell she's wearing. And with that,
and she did have a nicest suit in Resident Evil 5 as well.
Gosh, I need to go buy that game now. You're right. I should get that. Such a
great
playthrough,
you saying that.
AKA character model that they created.
Also, another thing, I noticed you noted about Lady Hunk.
Lady Hunk? Oh, I didn't know. I just thought the name was weird. I don't know.
She's for some reason. Just think Hunk, gas mask, coat, but no pants. There
exactly. Yeah, it's weird. They have some weird DLC is what we're getting down to. That game has weird DLC. There's a character that you play that's like one of the she's infected or whatever. And so it's just weird. Neat game though. But let's get out of here.
That's all. Yeah. Thank you for watching Bountiful Babes and wait a minute, no.
What?
Briefly.
Rackshaw. Jill has a pretty thick butt. It's true. It's a great character model. Probably best character model in a video game that I... Okay, there's something wrong with me. I'm stopping this podcast. Thanks, everyone. B3GamingCast.com, Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, stuffs.
Anyways, fucking games complain. This game I want.
That was Volts leaving, and we're leaving now too in a proper way.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Appreciate the support.
Thanks,
Later
Volts,
on.
for jumping in.